Agents, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Open, Chicago with the lead. Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Under it, and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5, touchdown Bears!
Third time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup.
Right. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, throw to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and I am fired up. Let me tell you something. Woo-wee, I feel good today. Man, listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning's Facebook page, like that, and now you're following the show's page on Facebook as well. Now, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, and click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, okay? That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our app, yay. If you didn't know we had an app. Come on now. What is wrong with you? What your problem is? Listen, we have our own mobile app. All right, so do us this favor. Wherever you get your apps from, all right? Wherever you get it from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, okay? Wherever you get your apps from, you go there, you download it, you download Sports Zone Chicago, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but guess what? We give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching us from our Roku channel, yay! That's what I'm talking about, baby. I like that kind of party. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. If you have a Roku television, a Roku device in the house, do us a favor. Download it. All right. Download the tile. All right. You know how to do it. Download Sports Zone Chicago's tile. Put it right smack dab in the middle of it. All right. Prime Video, HBO Max, Netflix, Apple Plus, or Apple TV, Disney Plus. All right. You've already downloaded Stars because you know you're watching, or you just finished watching Power Book 2 Season 3 with Tariq, Mary J, and Method Man. You downloaded Keystone. No. Paramount Plus. I was going to say Keystone. I'm thinking of Keystone the beer back in college. You've downloaded Paramount Plus because you're watching Yellowstone. Kevin Costner. And you downloaded Showtime because you're probably going to watch Billions. It's coming back, baby. And Act is back. So do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's tile and put us right there. You know what? All the Roku devices that you have in the house, okay? It doesn't matter if it's in the kids' room and, you know, you're probably not going to watch us there. Just do us a favor. Just download it there anyway. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. You see it at the bottom of the screen if you're watching us. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, you can just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we have a phenomenal show for you today, and I am fired up. I need you to get interactive with it. So listen, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, okay, you can't connect. Unfortunately, you can't connect with us on a Roku, but that's okay. Watch us on the big screen. Watch us on Roku, and then you can message us from your phone or your tablet or your laptop. Listen, leave a question or comment on that particular platform. It'll come up here. We'll get it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And guess what? That's what makes this Chicago's best morning talk show. All right, Chicago Sports Talk Show is your participation. So bring it all, baby. We ain't scared of nothing. We ain't scared. Bring us your questions, your comments, your smart ass remarks. Bring it. All right, bring it. Don't, like the Rock used to say, don't sing it. Bring it. Oh man, let's see who we got in the chat line. Man, the chat line is going. It's jumping early. It was jumping. I got on. I'm like, oh snap! My man checking it. Oh, Papa. At 7:19, he checked in. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's in the house. He's like, I'm first today. Woohoo! Well, you know, he's going to be at the doctor's office. You know what? Good luck with your appointment, with your transition surgery. I'm sure it'll be a success. You know how they do it, right? They slice the penis down the middle and they fold it up and back inside of you. Yeah. I've actually seen pictures. It was crazy. So good luck with that, Junior. It should have you ready to go by lunch. Levette Lee, she's in the house. Good morning, Levette. Thanks for tuning in. And my man Cornelius, what up? Squalls, he's in the house. And my man Mashawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. TGI. Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. Lord have mercy. You know it. And my man Charles Edward Bingham McDavid Sr., he's in the house. He's in the house, baby. Good morning, sir. I see you like. I know I took you back. Took you back down a trip for a trip down memory lane with Zaire, huh? Zaire, that's classic. I used to go to the one on 26th Street. You know the one that they're talking about now with there's a mega mall. They're going to close it and blah 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 blah. That's the Zaire that I used to go to. It was a place that was close to my babysitter. Her name was Chenta. She was from Mexico. Didn't speak English. So truth be told, guys, I didn't speak English till I was about 4 or 5 years old when I first started to learn English. When I went to it's called Head Start back then, but it's called Pre-K now. When I went to Head Start is when I first started learning English, because the babysitter that my mom left me with was from Mexico, and she used to live right across the street. I believe it's Sacramento, right down that street at Zaire on 26th Street in that big plaza. So just to walk down memory lane to hear the store Zaire, huh? That's awesome. That's awesome. Patty Lara in the Mickey Vicky house. oh, definitely Charles Venture. I said Venture too, I think. I usually say that. Oh yeah, Venture, the black and white diagonal stripes Venture. We used to go to the one on 42nd and Pulaski. 43rd and Pulaski is the one we used to go to a lot. So no, I definitely will not forget Venture, Charles. Junior, oh, you spoke English, spoke Spanish before you spoke English as well. Very nice. Okay. All right. Well, listen, when I say we got a phenomenal show, I am not bull jiving. At 10 o'clock, my man, Bob Nightingale from USA Today is going to join us. I had a conversation with him yesterday. All right, he was unavailable today. I'm like, dude, let's get it in on Thursday. We'll record it. We'll play it on Friday. He's like, dude, I'm in. So I had a very interesting conversation with Bob yesterday, all right, about this White Sox team. You're going to be, I don't know about surprised, but you're going to want to hear what Bob has to say about this season's White Sox, what needs to be done with these guys. So Bob Nightingale is going to join us at 10 o'clock and at 10:30. He's from right here on Sports Zone Chicago. He's one of the Smoke Fellas. He is Damani Pugh, but he's more affectionately known as Lucky Lefty, a.k.a. Mr. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, which means he's going to he usually has a drink. Actually, he's calling from work. So it was like his real gig. So it probably won't have a drink today. Probably. That I cannot confirm, though. I cannot confirm that he will not have a drink. So if he's sipping on something, I don't care even if it's clear. Hey, vodka and club soda is clear too. And I put it in water bottles many a time. So that's coming on at 10:30. Then we have a lot of Bears to talk. So we got baseball to talk. We got Cubs. We got Sox. We got NBA Finals to talk. That's what we're going to talk with Damani. We're going to talk NBA Finals. And Adam Silver came out yesterday, released a statement yesterday, and talking about John Morant. Poor kid. No, you know what? I take that back. Not poor kid. You made your bed, now you're lying it. All right? You made your bed, now lying it. So there's going to be a discussion about this, but not until after the finals. We're going to talk about that as well. John Morant, you screwed yourself, kid. We done did told you. We done did told you the first time. The first time. Well, a hard head makes for a lot lighter pocketbook. That's for damn sure. Hey, you know what? This is all his own doing. This is all his people's own doing. It's all his parents' own doing, because they need to step in as a parent. All right, I can see some of your freeloader friends. Your freeloader friends should have stepped in and like, wait, if this gravy train stops, guess what? I can't freeload, so I need to step in. But it's not their responsibility. His parents should have jumped in. And if they did and he didn't, and he ignored their suggestions and advice, well, then it's squarely on him. Because we don't know. Maybe his parents did say something to him. Maybe his parents did talk to him and say, hey, stop acting like a knucklehead. And he probably said, yeah, bump that. I'm making all this money. I'll do what I want. So if his parents did say that and he said, bump it, hey, I have no qualms. And then, because we're going to talk about this, because people have shown they showed a white, I forgot what basketball player it was, where he was in a gun store. He was decked out in like hunting gear and he had a rifle. And they were like, and people are like, well, how come it's not the same? And I'm like, look. If it's a picture, first of all, there's history with John Morant. All right. He's had a situation with guns. All right. He's had a couple of situations with guns. Okay. If someone is hunting and has a rifle, someone can have a stockade of ammunition behind them. If it's legally purchased, and we don't know if this was legally purchased, if they're all here, we don't know. I'm talking about the white guy that people use as an example. But when you don't have history, that makes a difference. Because if you're just standing in front of a wall of guns, you have your Second Amendment right. See, here's the thing that bugs me, though. The NRA, all right, they're big gun lobbyists. Why don't they come to the support of John Morant? Why don't they say, hey, this could be legally registered, which means he could carry it anywhere. It could be legally registered. He could have have his FOID card, have a conceal and carry. So why is the NBA coming down on him? Guess what? They're not going to come after. They're not going to stand up for John Morant. So John Morant, you have to understand that, and we'll delve into that a lot today. A lot. But man, I'm fired up, man. I am fired up for today's show. We get to talk sports. Man, you know what? Doing what you love is awesome. Let me tell you, it is awesome. So, without further ado, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. What's the hat? Top of the morning to you. What's the hat? Top of the morning to you.
Woo-hoo. Let's check it out. Check it out. The first top of the morning topic. Where do we go? Where do we go? You know where it is. The good guys. Both the Cubs and the Sox were off yesterday. So today, the good guys, they opened a 3-game set at home against the Detroit Tigers. Mike Clevenger's on a bump for the good guys. He's 3-3 with a 4.56 ERA. He's going against Reese Olson, who's 0-0 with a 0.00 ERA. The White Sox need to start making some moves. The White Sox need to stop playing around. Stop playing around with these busters. I know we're busters too because our record says that we are, but stop playing around. All right, we're in 4th place in our division. We're 8 games back. Okay, Detroit is 3 games back. Detroit is 26-28. They're under 500 just like we're under 500, except they're 2 games under. We are 12 games under. It's a damn shame. The only team it's that in our division when it's over 500 is Minnesota, and they're only 4 over. Look at the rest of the American League. Tampa, 22 games over in the American League East. Texas, with Bruce Bochy, 15 games over as they lead the American League West. In the National League East, Atlanta's 10 games above 500, leading the East. The National League Central, weak just like the American League Central. Milwaukee is 29-27, 2 games above 500. And in the West, Arizona and Los Angeles are tied. They're both 11 games over, 34-23. So as you can see, the American League and National League Central are crappy. But it doesn't mean doesn't stop the White Sox from having to take care of business that they need to take care of. Okay, this is a team that you can handle. This is a team, unfortunately, that's given us a lot of problems. Mike Clevenger needs another good outing today. And we need timely hitting. That is what we need, timely hitting. So hopefully Clevenger doesn't give it up early. But my goodness, that has been really, really frustrating, is our inability to get those key hits when we needed them. That really stinks. Almost forgot something. But moving on. So let's go good guys. Actually, I was going to go to I'm debating whether or not to go to the game tonight. All right. It's house music night tonight at Sox Park, but I have a lot to do today. All right. First of all, it's going to be 90. What's Cheryl Scott's forecast? So we're going to 92 today. It's going to be higher. It's usually higher away from the lake. The lake cools it off a little bit. So I'm going to go to the park. I'm going to go to the water park here in Orland. I think I mentioned that to you. the other day. So I'm going to do that. I might do some laps. It'll be the first time I'm doing laps in a while. Am I going to want to go into the Sox game? Either drive into the city or take the train into the city? Because I'm going to the Sox game tomorrow. I actually got to get my ticket today. I'm just going to get the bucket hat. The bucket hat, I'm excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. The bucket hat. Remember I told you I'm not going to go unless it's a pretty cool giveaway. And this one is. It's a pretty cool giveaway. So I'm looking forward to getting that tomorrow. So do I want to go 2 days in a row I don't know. It's just a lot of work, It's a lot of work. And I don't know if I'm 2 days in a row down to Sox Park because they're not playing good baseball. If they're playing better baseball, it would be easier for me to say, you know what? Yes, I'll go. But I got people who are going to the game tonight, people going to the game tomorrow. So I don't know. We'll see. But we'll keep it moving on. Next top of the morning topic. The Cubs. The Cubs travel to San Diego for a 3-game set with the Padres. Jameson Taillon trying to get on track. He's on a bump today for the Northsiders. He's 0-3 with an 8.04 ERA. He's going up against Michael Waka. Sorry. Michael Waka. Padres. He's doing a little better on his new team. If he came over from the Cardinals, he's doing better with the Padres than Jameson Taillon is. He's 5-1 with a 3.45 ERA. The Cubs as well. They need to get their head out of their tails and they're tied for last place. No, actually, I shouldn't say they're tied. They are in last place by percentage points. All right, St. Louis has played 2 more games. They've won 1 more game and lost one more game. So the Cubs are in the cellar. And you know how crazy that is? They are only 4.5 games out of first place. 4.5 games out. So this is by no means over. The Cubs need to get their act together. Okay, they need to get their act together. They need to put together a nice little winning streak of series winning streaks because it's there. Nobody wants it. The NL and the AL Central, nobody wants to take it. Nobody wants to run away with it. You got a shot. You got a shot, man. You got a shot. So we're going to see. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this Cubs team. You got an influx of energy a couple of weeks ago when you brought up Christopher Morel. He broke camp in AAA, and he came in, man, like a bat out of hell. He was on fire. His hair was on fire. He was hitting homers left and right. Now he seems to have cooled off a little bit. The pitching, the professor looked good his last outing. Okay, but you need, Stroman looked good. Tossed a no-hitter against the Rays, the best team in baseball. But can he do it again? Where's the consistency with the Cubs? Where is their consistency? Because without that, it doesn't matter. It won't matter. Because the Cubs, because Stroman is Taillon tonight, Drew Smiley tomorrow, because they're playing a 4-game wraparound. All right, they finish up on Monday in San Diego. So Taillon's tonight, Drew Smiley's tomorrow, Marcus Stroman's back on the bump on Sunday, and then the professor, Kyle Hendricks, is on the bump Monday to close it out. This Padre team, okay, they are 26-30, vastly underperforming, just like the Cubs. So they're equally yoked. Can they get some timely hitting? Can they get some good pitching down the stretch? All right. It boggles my mind. And it's not just the Cubs, it's the White Sox, it's Major League Baseball in general. All right, if we can get 5 innings out of these guys, 5. You know, back in the day, and here's my get off my lawn moment. You weren't going in any less than 7. You're going into the 8th. You're going 7+ before they brought in a bridge guy and then the closer. And even before then, hell, they wouldn't even have a bridge guy. They would have, you'd go 8. You'd go 8+ or 7+. If they had to, if you couldn't get out of the 8th, then they'd bring in a closer for a 4-out save or even a 5-out save. But now, if they can go 5, you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and you can't go through 5? You can't get through 5? Because then they need to bring in middle relief. Make it make sense to me. You know, pitching has become so segregated. By that, I mean you're a starter, a middle relief, or a closer. And you're trained that way. And if you're a starter and they say, hey, you know what? It's not working, then they're going to put you middle relief. And closers, that's a special breed. That is a special breed. Not everybody can be a closer. Not everybody has the cojones to be a closer. Those last 3 outs, 25, 26, and 27 in a Major League Baseball game are the most difficult to get. So it's only for a very select few. Very select. But like now these guys can't, with all this training and the advancements in technology, and these guys can't go 7 innings, 8 innings with strength training, with stretching, with recovery, with diet, with supplements. You can't go 7 innings once every 5 days. But you had guys smoking, God bless his cigarettes in the damn dugout, taking one more drag before they went back on the mound to start the 5th. And go 120, 130 pitches so they can get their 7 or 8 innings, 7+ innings. I don't know, man. I don't know. Please, make it make sense to me. Por favor, eh? Well, listen. Let's take a quick break. Pardon me. On the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
In on the left side, Hendricks. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
I get the sense that he was looking changeup early in that at bat, and then ultimately got fooled by the changeup for strike.
Hendricks looking for a ground ball. Lau hits the ground ball at the middle. Diving play, Horner. And then it spills out of his glove. Runner coming home. Swanson. Throw, tag. Ow!
Oh boy, it's close though.
Yeah, it is.
After review, there was no violation. The call on the field stands. The runner is out.
No, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. It was the Cubbies a couple of days ago. Last game before they took off. Headed to the sunny and 70s. Forever, eternally sunny and 70s San Diego for their 4-game set. See how they do. But we got to keep moving on. We have a lot of top of the morning topics to discuss. The next top of the morning topic, the NBA Finals. Game 1 last night in Denver. Sorry, not Weedtown, Denver. Weed State, really. The Denver Nuggets beat the Miami Heat 104-99. The Joker finished with 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. Do you realize this son of a gun had one shot in the first quarter? He had one shot in the first quarter and 10 assists in the first quarter. The Joker can do everything. Goofy as hell. Goofy looking, but mad respect for his game. Oh my goodness. Jamal Murray had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. All right. It is the first time in a long time. First time. Okay. Since Magic. Yes. Since Magic and James Worthy, I want to say in 87, it was in 87, that a pair of teammates in the finals had 25 points and 10 assists. That is a team effort. Michael Porter Jr. had 14 points, 13 rebounds. Gordon added 16.6 rebounds for Miami. Bam Adebayo had 25 points and 13 rebounds. And I still didn't like his game. I was still bitching at him throughout the game. And trust me, it's not because of him they lost, even though I was bitching at him. It wasn't that. All right. It was the missed threes. Vincent had 19 points. Jimmy buckets. All right, Jimmy, listen. You had 13 points. There's a couple of things that really bothered me about this game. We're going to talk more about it today at 10:30 with my man Damani with Lucky Lefty. We're going to talk about this game. And two things that bug me. Okay? This cannot happen again. This cannot happen again. Caleb Martin and Max Strus. Payless' own Max Strus. 1 for 17 combined for field goals. Are you kidding me? You freaking kidding me? You're serious about that? You're serious about that? And you're looking at this, and they're big three, the people, the undrafted guys. All right, Strus, Robinson, Martin, they were from three-point land. They were 2 for 16. 2 for 16 from beyond the arc. It's not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. They were shooting line drives. I'm watching the game yesterday. I'm like, all these shots are line drives. There was no arc in their shot. Most of the shots were line drives. I'm like, oh, man. I think fatigue played a huge factor in that game yesterday. But we're going to talk more about that with our guy, Damani Pugh, Lucky Lefty, at 10:30. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Miami, and in the postgame, the Joker said, hey, they were aware in the previous 3 series leading up to the finals. Miami, remember, they're the number 8 seed, so they were on the road. They had won game 1 in each of the 3 previous series. And Denver was adamant that Miami was not going to take game 1 on their home court. Miami's on the road, so their first game, they've snatched home court advantage in the first 3 series. Denver's like, not today, son. We are not Boston. We're not Milwaukee. They made the fact that the Joker was able to dominate the game. What do you have? 5? I want to say he had 5 shots in the first half. He dominated that game and had 5 shots in the first half. Unbelievable. We're going to talk more basketball. That's at 10:30. All right, with my guy, Lucky Lefty. We're going to keep it moving a little bit. In the middle of the game, or toward the end of the game, there was they talked about a statement released by Adam Silver. Adam Silver said, and this is the next top of the warning topic, he said, quote, we've uncovered a fair amount of additional information. We probably could have brought it to a head now, but we've made the decision that it would be unfair to these players and these teams to announce that decision in the middle of this series. So what that means is, Ja, we'll see you in a couple months, if at all, this season. What he said, and this is what the NFL does. The NFL, the week leading up to the Super Bowl, because remember, there's 2 weeks between the championship Sunday and the Super Bowl. The second week, the week leading up to the Super Bowl, there is no news. You cannot announce a coach's hiring. You cannot announce anything. Nothing is going to take away from the Super Bowl. Nothing. And the NBA follows suit. In the middle of this series, they are not going to talk about Ja Morant. They do not want Ja Morant to hijack the attention of this series. The storylines are pretty good. You have the team who is in their very first finals in franchise history. We're talking about the Denver Nuggets. And then you have a team who's the number 8 seed who actually lost their first playoff or play-in game and then ran the table to get to the finals. Storylines are there. Storylines are there. You do not want to overshadow it by this knucklehead, Ja Morant. I respect it. I applaud it. It is definitely the right thing to do. So, taking bets. 10 games, 20 games, half a season, full season. What is he going to be suspended? And the key word, let me bring that back up. The key word is the first sentence in this slide. We've uncovered a fair amount of additional information. Come on, man. Come on, man. If this additional information is bad, which I assume it would be, but you should never assume. You know what happens? You make an assumption. You make an ass out of you an umption. But John Morant's going to sit for a while. John Morant is going to sit for a while. No remorse. You made your bed. You want to act like a thug that you're not. By all means, go ahead. Go ahead, Papa. Do it. Do it. See where it got you. See where it got you. Some of you who are parents, you guys are watching who are parents. How many times do you tell your kid to do something or not to do something, and they had to do it anyway? How many times have we, as children, when we were kids, that our parents say, don't do this, it's not good, don't do this. We're like, we're done. Trust me, I know what's going on, and it turned out to bite us in the ass. Just what our parents told us not to do, we did, and it bit us in the ass. How many times have we done that? Well, John Morant, your actions are coming back to bite you in the ass. And more importantly than biting you in the ass, biting you in the pocketbook. Because when you're suspended, you get none of your money. When you're suspended, your game check goes to the NBA, and probably I think it goes to I think they have a big charity thing it goes to at the end of the year when you're suspended. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all for John Morant. But again, that's his issue. People have tried to talk to him about it. Ni modo. Okay. The next top of the morning topic, our guy Kaner. All right. Free agent and former Chicago Blackhawk superstar Patrick Kane underwent hip resurfacing surgery yesterday. He is expected to miss 4 to 6 months. He should make a complete recovery. He should be back at his old self. But 4 to 6 months. Now, here's the question, or here's the storyline. Who's going to sign him? Not only who's going to sign him, how much are you going to sign him for? Can he command the top dollar that he deserves? Or do you say, hey, I don't know about that hip resurfacing because I don't know. All right, we're in June. So June, July, August, September. It could be out to October, November. And then when he comes back, what Patrick Kane are you getting? How good of a Patrick Kane are you getting when he comes back? I think he'll definitely have his suitors, don't get me wrong. But the question is, how much? Patrick, just come on back. Just come on back home, dude. All right, come on back home. If it's not a huge contract, take a 2 or 3 year deal. You got Connor Bedard you can be playing with. If the Blackhawks do something crazy like the Houston Texans and trade up and get another, say they go get Fantilli or one of the other guys, dude, you got 2 other studs. Come on. Just come home. I know what you said. You said, yeah, it's kind of a done deal. It's passed. Trust me, people change their mind all the time. Just come home. Come back to the West Side. West Side. Let's come back to the West Side and finish your career as a Blackhawk. We'll see. We will see. Excuse me. The next top of the morning topic, the Bears. Bears had some OTAs, their second round of OTAs. Okay, they finished up this week at Hallis Hall. And let me tell you, there's been a lot of talk about who's there, who's not there. First and foremost, I need you to know this. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 100 days, 100. Keep it 100. 100 days of kickoff, baby. Ooh, Charlie, I like that kind of party. Look at it. My guy, Big Steve-O with the flyer. 100 days. That man is ready to go. But there's some people who weren't there. Jaden Johnson wasn't there. And a lot of people they're up in arms. And this is why you don't listen to everybody. This is why you don't just listen to people who want clicks. You got a whole bunch of people. Everyone's making a huge deal of it. And what they're not telling you is he didn't show up last year. So you would think in his first year, when you have a new coach, a new regime, new head coach, new general manager, new coaches, you'd want to be there to make a good first impression. He wasn't there last year. And he played just fine. So this is not something new. The issue I'd have is with Nasty Nate Davis that they signed, and he hasn't been there. Now, to me, that's like, wait a minute, dog. They just signed you, gave you money, and you can't show up. And I understand. I went to college. I have a college degree. I understand what the word voluntary means. I do. I know what the word voluntary means. But as a show of good faith, they just gave you millions, Papa. They just gave you millions. And you're like, nah, I don't want to go. For real? For real? For real? Like, how can you? Like, that would annoy me to no end. If I'm Eberflus and Pulls, again, they do not have to be there. It is voluntary. 2 weeks, then it's mandatory. Next week they have one more session of OTAs. Again, that's voluntary. And the following week, that's mandatory. But Nate, they just gave you a shitload of money, Papa, and you don't want to show up? Now, unless you've spoken with them and said, hey, I'm not going to be there, whatever. Okay, cool. But if you haven't spoken to them, because in the press conference, it seemed like the coaches didn't know why they weren't there. Like, they're not here. Ask him. Ask them. And when a coach says ask them, it usually means they're not happy. It usually means they thought you were going to be there. They had expected you, anticipated you being there, but you weren't. So the ask them situation is usually one of annoyance. Because they understand what voluntary means as well, but they want you to be there so you can. This time is invaluable. Invaluable. The connection with Justin Fields to DJ Moore is getting better. Chase Claypool is getting better. Tyler Scott, they're building rapport. And I get it. You're a lineman, so you may, what can you do? You don't have pads on. So your true test or workload isn't going to be until you get pads on. I mean, you got to go back. You don't have to, but mandatory OTAs is happening in 2 weeks, then they can start to fine you if you don't show up. You don't have to show up. They're just going to fine you. It's like in life, there's choices. But that was the one that annoyed me the most. Like, wait a minute, Papa, they just gave you all this money. And you would think that you'd probably want to ingratiate yourself with the coaching staff, the people who gave you a whole bunch of money, the front office, your teammates, your offensive line brothers. Because for those of you who don't know, the offensive line is a fraternity in that fraternity of football players. So I would think you'd want to ingratiate yourself. Like I said, unless he talked to him and said, hey, but then I don't know why the coach is like, oh, ask him. And, Jalen Johnson was gone, but he's in a contract year. And they just drafted 2 cornerbacks, and they're talking these cornerbacks are playing well. Now, it could be a situation where they're just using that as leverage. Could be. Could very well be. You got Tyreek Stevenson, you got Terrell Smith. Those 2 guys have played very well. And you still got Kyler Gordon from last year, who in the slot. So if Jalen Johnson doesn't come back, Terrell Smith will take his spot. But Jalen Johnson he wasn't there for a reason. All right? He wasn't there for a reason. On the 4 Letter Networks podcast, Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Max, they asked him. Here's what he said.
How you feeling about where the team is right now?
I mean, we had it in an upward projection for sure. I thought there's nothing that I think we don't have right now. I think we're filling a lot of holes that we had last year. I think we're starting with the D line and the O line. I think we're building from the ground up. I think we have a good foundation with our offense, and Justin, I think he's progressing really well. I think we added some weapons in DJ Moore, some speed at receiver in the draft as well. I think we added a lot of depth in the cornerback position as well, drafting some guys this year. I think there's nothing that we can't do right now. I think we just got to come in and keep proving ourselves, keep coming in and finding ways to win games.
When do you anticipate joining the team?
I'm going to be there for sure next week. I know I had a lot of things off the field going on. I have my daughter back home in Fresno, California, where I'm from and where she resides at, that I don't get too much time during the season to get with her. So, I mean, for me, the off season is a lot of time for her to make that up for family. And I'm a big family guy for sure, being a young dad, just trying to be present in my daughter's life. So I take a lot of pride in that. And then also I have a lot of things going on off the field. I know last year I was the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Bears, and I continue that. I continue to live that. That's who I am, and I have a lot of things and events that I'm doing currently in my community back here in Fresno, and just being a part of the church, donating, just being a part, just trying to create different opportunities and different fundraisers for my nonprofits and different things like that. So, I mean, I have a lot of business to tend to in my hometown in Fresno. Yeah, they don't want to hear those stories. They want us to be a negative story. But I mean, hopefully they can see the human side of me. They can see the dad side of me. I feel like it's one thing kind of just seeing the Jalen Johnson, the cornerback with the helmet on. I feel like when you kind of pop the helmet off and you kind of take a deep dive into who somebody actually is, I think you gain a better understanding.
Right from the horse's mouth. So everybody who was worried and complaining about this, and Steve-O cut it. I wish he would have kept it in there. I think Jason Williams. Jason says, yeah, how dare you be a dad? God forbid you be a dad with your child. And then that's when he came in and said, to talk about the helmet and to see the personal side of me. Yeah, he was, God forbid you be a father to your kid. And he said it. He goes, he doesn't live in Fresno. My daughter's in Fresno. When I'm during the season, from July to, you got the one bye week, but from July to December, so 6 months, you're not really going to see her. Come on, man. And he explained it. And if this was a situation where he showed up last year and didn't this year, then I'd be like, okay, why didn't you show up? But he didn't show up last year. He didn't show up last year. Probably spend time with his daughter. Crazy idea. So why can't we assume that he's doing the same thing this year? And then he said he was one of the NFL, the Chicago Bears NFL player, the representative for the Player of the Year, the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. So he's doing a whole bunch of stuff in his community. So you heard it from his own, right from the horse's mouth. I'll be there next week. So this upcoming week, he should be there. Shut everybody up. See, I know we love the Bears. I love the Bears. But sometimes people just get too obsessed with the Bears. Hey, here's what he said. Here's what he said. Did you hear the tone? Did you hear this? Did you hear that? He came out 36 seconds late. What does that mean? Does that mean he doesn't care? He doesn't care about his teammates? He doesn't care about the franchise? Like, dude, chill out. These are people. These are people who have lives, who have children, who have families. And if something is not mandatory, and he did this last year, don't trip this year. Now, if he misses mandatory this year, then we trip. But there's nothing here. People are pulling shit out of their ass or making stuff up when it doesn't need to be made up. Why is he here? Is he mad about the contract? Oh, they drafted 2 cornerbacks. He's going to be out. Relax. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. This is the part where the annoying fans come in. The annoying writers come in. People who cover the team. Why isn't he here? Oh, my God. What did he say? Dude, relax. Relax. Freaking lax. My God. So he'll be here next week. You heard him say, and he wasn't, if you heard his tone, he wasn't combative. He was like, oh, I'm hanging with my daughter. And I got stuff in the community I got to do. It's about, the hell. Relax. It's okay. It's okay. Deep breath. Exhale. Deep breath. Exhale. Simple. Take it easy. We got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. We'll probably talk about those at the end. There's one I really, really want to get to. I really, really want to get to this one and talk about it. It's sure is a sign that you're getting old, man, and shit's happening, and man, it's in this one, this next top of the morning topic, which we'll probably have it later because we got the interview with Bob Nightingale coming up next. It hits home. It hits home big time. This will be the fourth person in my life, in my career, that this has happened to. So we'll talk about that probably in the 11:30 segment, the end of the last segment of the show. I wanted to get it in today, but I was just talking too much. I need to shut the hell up. Listen, we got to take another break. On the other side, we got our interview with Bob Nightingale. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel, you can find us at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Order up. When I want to give up, I try to focus on getting to the next minute, then the next hour, and the next day.
It might not seem like it right now, but there are people out there like me who want to listen and support you for the long haul.
And I found someone to talk to, someone who listened.
You are not alone.
Hey, this is Dr. J, and I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Listen, my good guys we're in a state of flux right now. We're not too far out. Don't get it twisted. We're not too far out, but I'm not happy with a lot of the things that are going on. I'm happy with some things I'm still not happy with. My next guest, man, is a good friend of the program, and I wanted to talk to him because he's got a finger on the pulse of what's going on in Major League Baseball and my White Sox. It's frustrating. I can't wait to ask him about what's this whole. Are we decide we're going after the title? What are we doing? We going after the division? Are we just gonna mail it in? I don't know. He works for USA Today. You can find him on Twitter at B Nightingale. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Bob Nightingale. Bob, what's up? Bob, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Shawn.
How we doing out there?
Yeah, doing good. Little day game today with the Rockies and Diamondbacks, and Atlanta comes in town, so it should be exciting weekend.
Okay. Yeah, my guys are off today, my good guys, and they need it. They need it after the drubbing they got yesterday. And I was excited for the White Sox. You know, they had they took the second game of the 3-game set, and we're looking to close it out and have win the series. Unfortunately, some guy named Shohei something or other who's pretty good decided otherwise. So launching those two, one was a decent homer, the other one was just massive. That was a monstrous homer. Mike Trout, I think there was a fight at the bat rack yesterday, so not happy about that. But talk to me about what are you seeing with this White Sox team? There's a lot going on here. They're only 7 games back, okay, which is not very. I mean, it's only June. It's only the beginning of June, so it's not inconceivable to see them come back. But the division is very weak. Is there still a chance? What are you seeing from my good guys on the South Side?
I'll say this, Shawn. Every White Sox fan should issue a formal apology to Tony La Russa. He deserves another Hall of Fame plaque for even winning with this bunch. It's a mess. I mean, he's the only guy who's won there. I think they have no choice but to just trade away parts. It's not working. Didn't work on La Russa at the end. Working on Miguel Cairo. This has been a disaster under Pedro Grafal. So I don't see a change. I know you're saying 7 games out, but there's nothing that indicates they're going to get anything going. It's just a wrong mix of guys in there.
You know, and that was the thing that's the problem with my White Sox. As soon as they give you hope, they reel you back in, because I had written them off, Bob. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to any more games. I'm not giving you any of my money unless there's a really cool promotion. Like last Saturday, I went for the track zip up, which is really dope. But I'm like, I'm not going to any other games. I'm not spending, $15, $16 on a beer. All right, I'm not doing it when this type of product is here. All of a sudden, they go and they win a little bit. I'm like, well, maybe. And then now they have a chance to win a series against a decent team, or at least continue to stack series, and they don't do it. So they're very frustrating to me and the Sox fans in that respect. But one of the things that I had said after the season started was it a mistake to bring in Grifol? And here's why. With an underperforming veteran team, you're getting a rookie manager. Now, the rookie manager has no clout. He's been a bench coach, and there's no disrespect to him. It's just he doesn't have the resume. All right, he can't walk in with like a Joe Girardi, or like a Madden or a Guillen, and come in and say, hey, listen, this is how we do it, because they have resumes that demand respect automatically. Your thoughts on a rookie manager with an underperforming veteran team?
Well, I agree. I mean, that was my question on White Sox. I know people like him a lot. He got passed over 3 times by the Kansas City Royals. The Royals know him better than anybody. He's been the staff for, been in the organization for 15, 20 years. Why didn't these guys hire him? Never did. I would have hired Bruce Bochy. I thought Bochy had been a perfect fit. Look what Bochy's doing now with the Texas Rangers. It's unbelievable that this team's in first place, and all the changes been made is just because the one guy, the manager. So, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure anybody could win with the White Sox the way it's set up. Like I said, I just think they got to start trading away pieces. I'm not saying a massive rebuild, but it's embarrassing. I mean, they did the rebuild. The window stayed open for a year and a half. Now look at the team. Yeah, they're a shell of the form of what we hoped that they would be. These guys were having a lot of fun under Ricky Renteria. That was the one thing. They were having a lot of fun, and I think that's what excited the fan base. All right, they hit homers, the bat flips, the whole, the come from behinds, it was just the excitement, the youthful exuberance. And then the 2 years with Tony, it seemed to change a little bit. The aura seemed to change. It seemed more business-like than fun. And then this year, I don't think that they didn't gravitate or respect. I don't want to say respect. Man, what word can I use? I don't think they gave as much respect to, I guess I have to say it, to Grifol as possible. He came in with a great attitude. I love what he said. I love what he did. But again, he didn't have that resume. Who would you think that they probably deal first? Is it TA? Is it Yo-Yo? Is it Eloy? Is it Lubob? If you're going to start trading pieces, which I said they might have to, who would you lead with? Probably lead with Tim Anderson. Going back, I mean, under Lurson, that first year they won 91 games and ran away with the division. So It was a good team, but just the mix was. Then they, didn't kind of add some pieces and subtract some pieces. I would start with Tim Anderson. He's got the most trade value. Got him for 1 more year at $14 million, cheap price. Next, Lucas Giolito. I can bring him back anyway. He's pitching better, so he's got some value. Grandal, at least you can dump, part of that contract, not all of it. All those guys, there's no trade value. I mean, Moncada's not any trade value. Jimenez, no trade value. You're not going to trade, Luis Robert. You're not going to trade Dylan Cease. So all those guys just don't have that value. So you got to trade away the guys that do. And make some good trades in the offseason. And, the farm system hasn't produced. I mean, look at a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers. They draft, almost last every single year. But yet they produce players year after year after year. They do, and they're one of the organizations that I envy because of the ability not just to draft, because drafting, that's only half the equation, but developing, that's probably more important than drafting, because you can, what you get out of these players is how the big club is going to be. It's the lifeline of an organization, and the way that they develop these players is crazy. Them,
Kansas City does it well. Kansas City just doesn't pay him. Once you get good, like, you got to go.
Yeah,
But them, the rest,
Dodgers and Atlanta and St. Louis, those three teams stick out. But just like you said, Shawn, I mean, these teams are always drafting toward the bottom. It's not like they have the best scouts, but they develop better than anybody else.
The pitching staff has been better. Lucas Giolito, as you said, is starting to pitch well. I was very surprised. Lucas for me has been. I've been out on Lucas for the last season and a half. He's just, for me, he's just too soft, and I may sound like a get off my lawn type of guy at this particular point, but the mental fortitude of hitting a home run. You see the body language, give up a bad inning, the body language, the attitude, that can't happen. Who else is besides Cease, who's actually struggling? Who else would be worthy to get rid of as far as pitching? Because if you get a bit of a pitcher, a lot of teams will trade for a pitcher because pitching in the playoffs is paramount. Who do you think would be one guy that they could trade from that pitching staff, if any?
Well, certainly Giolito. I would trade Joe Kelly. You get some stuff for Kelly. People are always looking for veteran relievers. Kendall Graveman.
He's pitched a couple of the last week or two. Kelly's been pretty lights out, except for that one, his very last appearance. So he's been really, really hot.
Yeah, so he's got value. Graveman's got value. They're not going to trade Liam Hendricks. Means too much organization. Front office, Jerry Reinsdorf, love him. I think he's untouchable. Remember now, next year is you get him for $15 million options or $15 million buyout. So you might as well, keep him around. And I mean, he's what that organization's all about. Lance Lynn, so I'm going to take a flyer on Lance Lynn. He just got too much veteran moxie. Pitched lights out during the WBC. Started coming around until his last start. But he's got some value as well. People know what he can do to a team, and kind of a clubhouse leader.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of Liam, Liam just came back this past week. Talk to me about that. Man, it was exciting. I wasn't at the game. I did watch it, and man, you can feel the electricity just from watching it at home. Your thoughts on Liam Hendricks coming back pitching after 6 months ago being diagnosed with cancer?
Yeah, he's made one appearance, and he's going to be comeback player of the year, no matter what he does. He's coming back from the cancer the way he has. Inspiration, just a great guy to have around. Great leader, and like you said, it's almost like what every organization should be about, but particularly the White Sox. What he and his wife do in the community. So a fan favorite, a player favorite, a media favorite. So no, it's a great inspirational story. Yeah, it is.
Guys, we're joined by Bob Nightingale from USA Today, talking a little baseball, South Side, then North Side, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Yeah, it was emotional, man. And if anyone has ever dealt with, and most people have known someone who has cancer, and either they succumb to it or they beat it, it's a tough road. And to see him not just beat it, but get back to being a professional athlete, that's a whole nother aspect in itself. So it was really, really cool to see, really, really emotional. It was fun to watch that. And I hope he gets, I can't wait till he gets better. And by better, I mean baseball better. He's sure. Basically in spring training shape right now. So we may need him toward the end of the season. What are your thoughts of if the Bears, it's bear crazy over here. If the Sox don't start trading pieces, if the Sox do start winning, because first of all, they do have a lot of talent. They have the ability. They just haven't put it together. What are the chances that you have the White Sox actually coming back and taking this division? Nobody wants it.
No, it's a weak division. I mean, the weakest in baseball. That one in the NL.
Thank goodness.
The Cubs division. Both divisions are stink. I still like Cleveland. Cleveland's underperformed. They haven't hit. They're still 2.5 games out. I mean, everybody's in the race, obviously. Detroit's in the race. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly a winnable division. And then, then what? Then you have to have a Dylan Cease, a Lucas Giolito pitch lights out in the postseason to have a chance to, advance a round or two.
Kopech's come back, and he's given us a couple of good outings recently. In your estimation, does it look like he's kind of gotten on track? Because one of the times he didn't have his best stuff, but he's still able to persevere and get through. And sometimes you got to grit it out. All right, your number one pitch isn't working. Maybe sometimes even your number two pitch isn't working. And for him, he was able to get to give us, I want to say 5+, maybe 6, and still come out on top. Talk to me about Michael Kopech, because he's had he's 27. He's had a limited amount of starts. We had a lot of high expectations for this guy coming out, and he really hasn't lived up to it. Has he? Do you think he's finally turning the corner?
He's knocking the door. I mean, certainly has a talent. They've brought him along slowly with the arm injuries, everything else, all the things he's been through. He's the guy I would keep. They can probably get something for him. Everybody loves that talent. But if you want to have a chance to be, contend in 2024, he's definitely a guy I'd keep along with Cease, and go from there, build a rotation around those two guys. I just think they've done so much for him, been so patient. You hate to trade him and watch him, win a Cy Young award somewhere else.
Yeah, they have been. He had the obviously the surgery, but then the personal issues that he had and off the field stuff, and they have been very patient. And you and me both, Bob. Trust me, I'd hate to see him go somewhere and be a key cog in a World Series winner, or God forbid a Cy Young. Speaking of Cy Young, our guy Dylan Cease finished second in Cy Young voting last year, and he's having a year not like last year. Can I say it's a bad year, or is it just that he pitched so well last year that he's actually decent, but compared to last year, it looks bad?
It's only a bad year for him. Mediocre year for everybody else. Very erratic year. Yeah. So almost going back to the beginning with just the clubhouse chemistry and stuff. You wonder if that's bringing them down. When a team starts losing, it brings everybody down and stuff to get up. This guy's way too talented to pitch like this. I mean, he should be one of the top 5 pitchers in the American League, and he has not been. He's not going to make the All-Star team. Last year, this big outcry. He got robbed. Well, he's pitching like a guy, who's not even going to be under consideration this year. So hopefully, he works it out. He's got so much talent and stuff. I mean, he's a true ace. You hate to see him struggle the way he has.
Lastly, on the south side, Jerry Reinsdorf just took controlling interest of Stadium. What are your thoughts of possibly seeing him splintering off from NBC Sports Chicago and creating another network just like the Cubs did with Marquee? They were on NBC Sports Chicago a few years ago. Unfortunately for them, the timing was bad because as soon as they launched Marquee, it was when COVID, so there were no Cub games to see. But what do you think about that? Is that a strong possibility? Because I know Jerry is one thing I know about Jerry is he's about his money.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to have it with the Bulls, obviously. Blackhawks too, for that matter, but certainly the Bulls. Yeah, just TVs and such, a state flux. I mean, now all these teams are in bankruptcy court with Bally Sports. Bally's didn't make the payment for San Diego Padres. Padres game went off the air for 15 minutes, a disaster, and now they're not making the payments. So it's going to cost the Padres about $90 million this year. And then there's like 14 teams that have it. Cleveland has it. Minnesota has it. A lot of these teams in the AL Central have it. I think KC might as well. So, yeah, everybody's streaming. The subscriptions have gone way down. So it'd be fascinating to see, what teams do, whether they want their own networks and whether that's going to work out better than relying on a team like Bally's or AT&T, those type of things.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like you said, the subscription and that might be the way to go. That's what I foresee, the Bulls and the White Sox. Man, that'd be crazy. Let's go to the north side a little bit. It started off great. I shouldn't say great. They started off well. And all of a sudden they cooled down a little bit. And now everybody's clamoring. A lot of people, or too many people, in my opinion, are clamoring for Rossi's head. What's all that about? Is it just the ebbs and flows of the season? Because I personally don't think he needs to go. I think he's a perfect guy for that gig.
Yeah, I mean, it's not his fault. Yeah, can he make some better decisions sometimes during game? Sure, just like any manager, he's a young guy. And it reminds me a little bit of the South Side with the La Russa. Everybody wants to blame the manager. Trent La Russa didn't sign Grandal to that big contract. You didn't get all these guys around mix. Same thing with David Ross. He didn't get all these guys and sign them and send these guys to go belly up. So they're like the White Sox. They're in a great division. because nobody wants to win that thing either. Everybody keeps waiting for St. Louis to take off, and maybe they will. But yeah, it's a weak division as well. I think they're at least a year away, just 1 year away from actually being a contender that division. They did spend $300 million off season. Be fascinating to see what happens to Marcus Stroman. He can walk out of that contract. He's got to opt out. The way he's pitching, I'm sure he will. Let's see if they keep him.
The Cubs have been a team that's on the fringe of the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. Your thoughts on them actually being legitimate players? Because I think the Cubs are more than one player away from being a good team, and I don't know if they'd be in it. But what are your thoughts? Because the Cubs do have the money. They do have the money. The hotel's up. The games are sold out. The hotel is rocking. The rooftops are rocking. So they have the money. What do you think of them being actual players in the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes?
They're a sleeper for sure, talking to Ohtani's people. I mean, they were on his original list.
Okay.
Actually, they were the only team, only team outside the NL West, AL West that was on his original list. I'd be shocked if he doesn't stay in with the Dodgers or the Padres. I don't completely rule out the Giants. Don't completely rule out the Seattle Mariners. But I think he's staying out west. The one thing about him being a two-way player, he's got such routine. And with the weather in the Midwest and the East, you can't afford to have rainouts and delayed starts, things like that. So I don't rule out the Cubs. You get two players for the price of one. But I think the Dodgers stay out of the free agent market for a reason, so they can get this guy. And hey, the San Francisco, their tennis has plummeted. Obviously, you get a guy like that, all of a sudden you're going to be packing the place.
Yeah, you would. I don't think the Cubs are going to be real players in it. I just think you can he's going to command at least $500 million. So we're talking $500 million, and if he goes on, and you get a phenomenal player, you get a Cy Young, a guy in the Cy Young conversation every year, a guy in the MVP conversation every year. But if he goes down, now you're losing two players and two aspects of your game. And I think the Cubs would probably be better served to go and spend the $500 million. You can give $100 million here, $100 million there. That's 5 different players you're giving $100 million to. That's a lot of money, a lot of talent that you can spread around. And I just think they're too far away. I think maybe if they were closer to being a legitimate contender, they might be real serious contenders in those sweepstakes. But I think they're just too far away, because Wrigley Field's still getting good crowds. I don't know about selling out every time, but they're pretty damn close. So they're definitely not hurting for money. Bob,
I mean, same thing with Dodgers and Padres sell out every game too, so it's not going to make a difference there. But he does make a franchise about $20 million a year just with the licensing and door like that. Excuse me. So he brings in a lot of revenue, even though he's not going to sell extra tickets for Padres or Dodgers, or very few extra tickets.
All right, Bob, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, just at usatoday.com, or usually I'll tweet out my stories at B19 on Twitter. Thanks, Shawn.
Hey, thank you. I saw you're in the Times. I think it was last week, and I meant to say, like, hey, I see they had your. It was an article you wrote. It was in the Chicago Sun-Times. Like, oh, my man Bob, I'm back in the Windy City. Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll be in touch soon, man. Thanks.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks, Shawn.
All righty. That was my interview yesterday with Bob Nightingale. That was you heard it. He said he'd start trading pieces away. Wow. The rebuild over before it even got started. And I don't blame him. And I think a lot of Sox fans have that same thought. Okay. And this is why I love having Bob on. He looks at it from 10,000 feet above the earth. So we're not inundated with Sox people. Sox people wanted to trade. As soon as someone strikes out, trade him. He struck out. He was 0 for 4. Relax. But ever since that gentleman was on the Four Letter Network, he called up Waddle and Sylvie and went on that 7-minute rant, which was all accurate, by the way. A lot more fans have, and myself included, have come to be okay with the fact that you might have to start moving some pieces. We're going to get a lot of shit from Cub fans. Okay. A lot of it. Their rebuild worked. Ours didn't. How much of this goes on Rick Hahn? Okay. A lot of it has to go on Jerry. All right. You wasted 2 years with Tony La Russa. Imagine if you would have brought in Bruce Bochy, where he's at Texas. He's in Texas now. Imagine if you would have brought in Bruce Bochy or Madden or Girardi or my guy Ozzie Guillen. All those guys walk in with immediate credibility. Immediate. And I don't think they would be averse to this young group having fun. But they're going to say, hey, we got to play first. We're going to play good, solid baseball. Our approach is going to be different at the plate. We're going to take walks. We're going to drive it the other way. We're going to, it would have been a different aura. And for the Sox, the season isn't over. They're only 7 games back. 8 games, did I say? What did I say? 8? Okay. And early in June. So you got time. They're 8. You have time, but you got to start going to work now. You got to start winning series now. You have to start, when possible, start sweeping series. Because if you look at this team, look at the way that Kopech has pitched. Cease's pitched okay. He's given up 2 or 3 runs. Why can't our offense give him 3 or 4 or 5 runs of support? Giolito has pitched better. It's a contract year, so of course he's going to pitch better. That's 3 out of the 5. Pitching okay. Lance Lynn, Clevenger, But the bullpen has been solid. Graveman's been solid as a closer. It's just that key hitting. It's just the right approach at the plate. Get guys, get them on, get them over, get them in. I don't need a home run. I don't need a double. I need a base hit to the opposite field to get this guy in. So is it time to get rid of to break up the White Sox? I don't know. And people always say Memorial Day. Check out Memorial Day. Well, I'll say let's go 4th of July. So we give them 1 more month. And if nothing's changed, boom, blow this thing up. And it sucks. I love Yo-Yo. That's my dude. But he's not performing. He's not living up to the contract that he signed. This contract is perfect for him. Eloy Jimenez's contract benefits him. Lubob's contract benefits. None of these guys are living up to their contract. Remember, the contract that they signed initially benefited the player. And if they lived up to their potential, in the end, it would benefit the player big time. I'm sorry, the team big time, because they would be far in advance of what that contract would be paying them. They're not living up to their potential. So we might have to start moving, and that's going to suck because I love Yo-Yo, I love Lubob, I love those guys, I love that core, but we don't have a leader. I forgot. That's what I should ask Bob. Who's our leader? Who leads this team? I can't give you. I don't know. I don't think they know. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my mans and them. It's Mr. 5 o'clock somewhere himself, Lucky Lefty. We got a little NBA Finals. And Adam Silver to talk about. We got a lot to talk about, so don't go anywhere, folks. Lucky Lefty from the Smoke Fellas. Up next. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? angry, overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become the resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JCoyneReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information and my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out JCoyneReports.com and follow me on Twitter at JCoyne.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
And Porter with the left hand. Jokic back in with Murray. Murray wide open. Boy, he is locked in shooting the ball the last several weeks. Adebayo goes inside. Beautiful feed. Highsmith and the Heat have hit their last 7 shots. Jokic, here comes the double team. Spins away. Finds Brown wide open. Bruce Brown from downtown. Jokic gets inside. Zeller takes a tumble. And Jokic with his second field goal. Murray on the drive. Jokic again, the entry pass, and Gordon banks it.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ABC, ESPN. They're on both, on ESPN Plus, ABC, the parent company. That was game 1. And let me tell you, that was an ass whooping. Not as much of an ass whooping as you might think. Okay. If these guys could hit a God blessed 3, it's a different game. It's a completely different game. My guy, I'm excited. This guy. We usually talk Bears. He's a huge Bear fan. He can talk everything, and that's why I love talking with people who can talk multiple sports. Let me take that back. It's better than just talking with someone who's one sport specific or one team specific. Okay, if you notice, I like to get a lot of guys who can talk multiple sports. This guy does it. He does it with the best of them. You can catch him every Saturday here on Sports Zone Chicago, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central, with the Smoke Fellows, with Mr. Smoke Fella himself, Ben. With Mr. Where's Waldo himself, Kevin, KDL, who knows where in the country he's going to pop in from. And he has his own nickname, Mr. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You can find him on Twitter. I'm sorry, not Twitter. You can go use his IG handle. All right, his IG handle is Lucky Luciano _623. I believe that's because it's his birthday. Man, let's bring him out. Let's bring him out. Our man, Damani Pugh. Lucky, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, man. I'm up, ready to go. I know it's usually Mr. 5 o'clock, but not this morning. It's gonna be Ward. I got a long weekend ahead of me.
I said, hold on, Lucky, hold on. Hey, vodka and club soda is clear too, so don't give us that bullshit.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. But no, this really H2O this time. This is H2O this morning. Now, tomorrow morning could be a little different. It could be a little different. But we'll see. We'll see. Depending on how I feel when I get up.
That's funny. But man, good game last night. Give me your thoughts. I mean, I don't think Miami is as far off as people think, because dude, they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat yesterday from beyond the arc yesterday. If those guys, they were 2 for 16. The three undrafted guys, we're talking Duncan, Strauss, and Duncan Robinson, Strauss, and Caleb Martin. Those three, 2 for 16 from beyond the arc. That's not going to get it done.
No, you're absolutely right. But you got to think about it, man. Denver, we talked about it last week, they have the ultimate home court advantage, that altitude, man. And when you're tired, when you're tired, your first thing to go is your legs, and you need your legs. The shooters, you definitely need your legs. And the other side of it is, if you look at how Denver runs their offense, man, they're constantly moving, like a lot of movement, and they control the pace of the game. Yeah, they're pretty much between the air up there and the pace. I mean, those guys are incredible shape. They must do a whole lot of cardio up there with those guys, but they're used to playing in it. And so that's why they're undefeated home. This is the first series that Miami didn't steal game one. I don't think they're going to steal game two. And at the end of the day, Shawn, this Denver team is good.
Yeah, they are.
Miami has a great Rocky Balboa story going on right now. The underdog coming back.
It's probably a great way to put it, Lucky. Yeah. That's a great way to a Rocky Balboa story. That's a great way to put it.
And people are catching on. While I was watching the game last night, a lot of people were cheering for the Heat. A lot of people were cheering for them. And it would be great at eighth seed, especially coming from the play-in, to get all the way up here. But sometimes you run up against that juggernaut, man. Like it's something totally different. Denver's too big. Denver's too big. And when we talk about size, not just size, but skill as well. You got Joker. Hey, he's impressed me. I'm slowly becoming a fan, and for us we don't get to see Denver a lot because they didn't have a lot of nationally televised games. So now realizing they were the top seed in the West, like pretty much the whole season. They pretty much controlled it. So, as everybody was, I hear silly stuff like, oh, they were the underdogs to the Lakers. They were underdogs to Phoenix. No, they were the best team in the West and pretty much in the league all year. And those guys have been together for a minute. Murray, Joker, Aaron Gordon's there since last year, KCP, but some of those guys have been around for a while. So it's a good team, man. I just don't think Miami, as scrappy as they are, I don't know. So you got to win a game up there, and that's tough in itself. And then go home and defend your home court. I just think there's a little too much.
I think you might be right, man. And I want Miami. I'm rooting for Miami. Ride or die. I love them. I love him because Jimmy Buckets is still my dude. All right, yeah. Jimmy's old school. We drafted him, we developed him. All right, and we saw him grow up before our very eyes. All right, from defensive stopper to pretty good offensively to all-star. Then he leaves and becomes a star and then a superstar. Yeah. I got mad love for Jimmy. The way that they play, they're tough, they're physical. His style of play is perfect for the Pat Riley mentality that he has down in Miami. That's why they've done so well. I still think that you make some threes, it's a whole nother story because I think missed the first 9 or 11, and this is where basketball IQ comes in too, though. Lucky, You keep missing threes, you got to do something else. You shoot 2 free throws, man. They had 2 free throws the whole God blessed game.
That's horrible.
Get your ass to the hole. And I know the Joker's down there. Go into his ass. Go into him, cause contact, cause foul. Bam Adebayo's throwing that little Vucevic hook shot. Go into dude. All right. Go challenge him. Is he gonna block your shot? Probably. Okay. Is he gonna get a foul? That's a good possibility too. I didn't see Bam Adebayo, and I know he had a great game stat-wise.
Right.
But I need to see Bam Adebayo physically go at Joker. And Joker's a big dude, but you got to go at him. It's the finals, bro. There's nothing after this. You're gonna come up short again.
Leave it all out there. You're absolutely right. You know, the thing though right now, Shawn, is unfortunately Miami is kind of the 3 is what has gotten them all the way here. You know what I mean? So that it's going to be tough for them to just turn around and abandon that. I mean, just have a lot of shooters. And I know some people try to say the ref thing. I don't like jump shooting teams don't get to the line. You know, the Golden State Warriors had the least free throw attempts out of every team in the league this past season. So free throw discrepancy isn't shocking at all. As far as, I would, because one thing, Joker isn't really known as a shot blocker. No. So you can't go in there, but Bam's going to have to try to get him in foul trouble. Like I said, instead of throwing up that little floater, like going to his body, see if you can get it, get the refs to kind of go in your favor, maybe get a couple of fouls on him. But then you turn around, and one thing about Joker, though, the crazy part is like nothing seems to phase him.
Nothing.
Nothing phases this dude, man.
Like, one shot the first quarter? No biggie. We'll give out 10 dimes.
That's it. It's as simple as that. And now those guys are playing together so well. You notice how Aaron Gordon was getting the mismatch, and he knew when Joker had the high post, he was right there, and every time it was there. Probably about 8 of those assists was off that play alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as far as Jimmy, I totally agree with you. I think he's always gotten credit, but you got to give him even more. Like probably one of the best two-way guys. He's guarding Jamal Murray. And Murray is balling right now. I mean, Jamal Murray is the Jamal Murray we saw in the bubble that can shoot lights out. He's probably one of the most underrated shooting guards in the league. Probably underrated. I'm gonna say underrated player. Period.
Yeah, so, he had 26, 6, and 10 yesterday. So it's the first time since '87 when Magic and Worthy, where a pair of teammates had 25 and 10 in 25 and 10 assists in the finals. Those dudes were rocking, him and Joker.
Yeah, and people were saying that, Jimmy with the 13 points, but at the end of the day, he has to chase him around in that altitude and then come back on the offensive end and try to put up, one of those Jimmy buckets games where he just can't miss. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask. And even, going into the, looking at the mental side, I know, like you said, it's the last round, but it takes a lot mentally and physically to be on the road, all those series. And they just went 7 with Boston, almost blew that 3-0 lead. It's a lot. It's going to be a tough task. But one thing I'm starting to realize about Jimmy Buggers, and even Eric Spoelstra, let's give him credit. He doesn't get enough credit as a coach.
Definitely doesn't.
You can never count them completely out. And I think Denver isn't underestimating them at all. Denver's a well-coached team, too. Their coach don't get enough credit. They're going to try to put their foot on their neck.
They have to, because they cut it to 8. They cut it to 8. It was 22 at one particular point, 21-22 point lead, and they kept cutting it to 8. And that's the one thing that I've said this whole playoffs. Miami's gonna play their way.
Yep.
Now, if it gets them blown out, it gets them blown out. And if you don't play your way and then be consistent and disciplined in your style of play, whatever that is, because Miami, talent-wise, Denver's much better. On paper, oh my God, it's not even a contest.
Right.
But Miami knows who they are. They play that way. They don't deviate from it. Can you be disciplined? Well, yesterday you saw there were stretches where Denver didn't stay as disciplined as they could have. And that's when Miami kept playing their same way. Went from 22 to 8 or 9 points or 8 points. And Denver's like, oh shit, we better lace them back up again for all intents and purposes. And they were able to pull away. Miami's not going anywhere. Now they may lose, they may get swept, I think 5 or 6 max, but they're going to keep playing their way. And I applaud them. I applaud Spoelstra, like you said, he don't get enough credit. And I think game 2 is going to be a big determining factor, because one, obviously if Miami wins, they steal home court. And I love the 2-1-2-2-2-2-1-1-1 as opposed to 2-3-2. Love that format.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think Miami's going to have their legs. If you watch a lot of the shots, a lot of the shots yesterday were line drives. There wasn't the arc on a lot of their shots, and that is nothing but dead legs.
That's that ultimate home court advantage in Denver.
Yep.
You know, like that. And yeah, just gonna be interesting to see in game 2. I don't know too many adjustments Miami can really make. I mean,
except make open threes.
Right, just hit shots. I mean, you know, that's all you can really do. But like I said, they're so scrappy, man. They scrappy. They play hard, and I'm pretty sure Denver felt it. You know, because they could have just, you know, being down 22, they could have just said, "Hey, we got a long series. Let's just dial it in." But they didn't. But they didn't, and that says a lot about how well coached they are. You know, leadership.
But Lucky, could that be a detriment to them? Could they say, "Hey, listen, why keep playing hard? Let's give them game 1 because we are coming off of 7 games. We did just fly in, 36 hours ago. All right, let us chill the last half of the fourth period. All right, rest." We have an extra day rest now because they don't play till Sunday. Excuse me. Right. It's not Thursday, Saturday. It's Thursday, Sunday. Could it be a detriment for them to have continued to go all out and still come up short?
It could be, but it could also be a mental thing. Like you don't want to get blown out the water. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they went out there and beat them by 40. You know, like what's your mindset going into the game Sunday? So I mean, I'm saying that's possibly the way Spoelstra and the guys are thinking, but. You said it yourself. Like Miami plays one way. Yeah. You know, they don't know any other way. That's what has a lot of these undrafted guys. You know, they got the minutes. They're in a rotation. That's what's keeping them in the league. They go out there and they play hard. But the other side of it is hit. You got to hit those open shots. You got to a team as good as Denver. You cannot shoot that poorly. You can't. You have to figure that part out. And they were open threes. It wasn't like Denver played amazing defense. They weren't
wide.
They were not playing amazing defense, but you hit it on the head. The line drives, that says a lot about the legs. And that other side, when you're chasing Denver around, that's what made Golden State all those years such a, like that dynasty that they were running over there, because you have to chase them on the defensive side and then come down and try to score with them. You know what I mean? That's hard. And Denver, they kind of remind me of Golden State. You know, I mean, the real good Golden, that 72 team, that like the movement, the constant movement, and guys how they play off each other. And that's a lot chasing guys like that, man. You got to chase. I mean, it wears you down. I don't care how good a shape you're in when you have to play both ends like that. In Denver, and they control the tempo. They control the tempo. You know, this Joker gets it, kicks it out, push it. You know, they pushing it. They're going to constantly make you move.
Don't hold that sucker for more than a half a second.
Man, you know, and I thought people were asking, Kevin Love, this, that, and I don't think Kevin Love could be a factor. I mean, he can hit threes, but defensively, Kevin Love can't do nothing with Aaron Gordon or Joker. So I don't know what bigger role he could play. I saw Zeller. They got Zeller in there just to get some size in there. You know, the problem is Miami is just a small team. And it's gonna be tough, man. Look, Michael Porter Jr. is 6'10". So anybody that's on him is, it's a matchup problem. So this is a tough one. This is gonna be a tough mountain for them to climb, man. It's gonna be hard. But if they pull it out, it's gonna be one of the greatest.
Man, what will it?
Man, it'll be the biggest runs ever. Yeah.
Man, guys, we're joined by Lucky Lefty, Damani from the Smoke Fellows. We're talking little NBA Finals right here on Shawn and Mai in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. A couple of different avenues I want to take this. Somebody asked me, and let me get your thought. Because especially now, say Strus and Robinson, and I know Hero's coming back, but I'm not expecting him to give us to give Miami the 20 points that they lost when he went out. He's still coming up. I'm not expecting that. But if these guys make it a series, say it's 4-2, all right? Miami loses 4-2, but Strus and Robinson and those guys start hitting their threes. How much more will teams start to look at sharpshooting undrafted 3-point shooters?
Oh, a lot more. A lot more. It's a copycat league, especially when it's successful. You know what I mean? Something like that. And so it's opening the doors for guys like that. You know, they may not being the top of the draft class or the guys that were highly recruited even coming out of high school. But the ability to shoot in today's game is huge. I mean, if you can shoot that rock, you got a place in the league. Somebody's gonna put you on their roster. But yeah, if Miami pulls this, I think even if Miami doesn't pull off the upset, you still have to look at that. Those guys are going to get guys like that are going to get much closer looks. Like they're going to get serious looks. You bring guys in camp bodies.
Yeah.
Now these guys are going to start getting looks, like serious looks. And these veterans and these guys have been up there for a while. You better stay on your stuff, man. Stay on your toes, because this undrafted kid can take your spot.
And talk about financially how it benefits the team, because you got a veteran who's drafted as opposed to an undrafted free agent who's knocking down these threes at a clip is almost as good or maybe even better than you. I mean, how much flexibility does that give a team? Now, like, I can save money here and I can go get this free agent because I only got to pay you, 1.2 as opposed to 5.7 the other guy, and that's more money for someone. How beneficial is that going to be for teams?
Yeah. Well, look at even. I mean, let's go past Miami. With Austin Reeves of the Lakers was undrafted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's set to get Lakers gonna match like up to $100 million. This kid is undrafted. I mean, he came in. He was pretty much just a shooter when he came in, but he played hard on defense on both ends. Now look at him. I mean, now look at this kid, man. Oh,
he's about to get paid, man. He's about to get paid.
Yeah, coming from undrafted and he's only been in the league 2-3 years. So look at the impact and the impact he had. He cracked the Lakers lineup and got guys put on the bench. So it's already somewhat happening, So, but it's going to be interesting to see this year. Hopefully the Bulls pick up on it too, especially the much shooting as they need.
Yeah, Austin, undrafted free agent. So if that happens, holy sheesh, man! It's like I said, financially it just makes sense. And you know what? The thing is great. I don't know why they didn't do this prior. Like, people are always in sports, you're always trying to cut corners, right? You're always trying to maximize. Owners want to maximize the dollar, right? This dude, you're making hundreds of millions of dollars. Chill, all right? $5 million ain't gonna kill you. But anyway, you're gonna start to see some of these people, and I think it's gonna be. There's so much talent nowadays, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they got the G League. And G League actually talent-wise good. I think it's going to be good for a lot of teams. Let's talk a little real quickly. Shifted to our Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Our president of basketball operations just built this Denver team.
Yep.
For the most part, okay,
yeah.
Except for the last 2 years. Why do you expect that here? Is that what the whole thing is? Their contract talks for Vooch. Is that what that is about? Is Vooch supposed to be our Jokic or what? How do you see that situation here?
Yeah, well, I think the expectation is that, especially seeing where Denver is now. So the expectation is definitely there, and he's going to take the same route. Maybe I don't see how he sees Vooch as that, but let's be totally honest. Joker is an anomaly, man. Like guys like that just don't pop around every now and then. Sorry about the noise. For some reason, they want to cut the grass right now while I'm on the show.
That happens to me too.
All the time. That's crazy. So yeah, but you kind of gotta be careful with that. Trying to find someone to play that particular role, because you just don't have a lot of guys. Those guys don't come around every year. A big man with a basketball IQ that high that can do all the things that he can do. Vooch definitely isn't that, but I think he wants to. I think he wants to take that same format, kind of that same idea, but he has to know how important shooting is this off season. He has to. I think the guy's too smart. He knows. So hopefully, like you say, maybe we find a Austin Reeves or Strus or somebody like that. And this
shit, we had Strus. Strus was on our G League team.
Unfortunately, right? Drop the ball on that one. Drop the ball on that one. How much of that you think is coaching, though? Spoelstra to Billy Donovan.
That's a good call. You know what? I think a lot more might have to do with the fact that the Bulls spurned him. All right, the Bulls got rid of him. I think that really narrowed his focus. I think that really got him fired up. Like, okay, I'm here because he's a Chicago kid. He's right down the street from me.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I went to Stagg High School. He's from Payless. Man, literally right there. Actually, I just read an article. One of my buddies that I played basketball with at St. Rita has a camp that Strus came up in and played it. I'm like, get the hell out of here. That's so crazy. But I digress. But yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with, you had me here and you don't sign me because of my ACL. Okay, bet. And revenge, man, is best served cold. And man, so we got to find someone like that. But I'm looking for our 6'8", 6'10" dead-eye shooter. I'm looking for our Michael Porter Jr. type shooter.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure. I would hope that the Bulls, this front office, is smart enough to know how important shooting is. They definitely need shooting. As far and I think some of the issues with the Bulls' leadership on the floor. I noticed even when Pat Bev came in, how he was able to kind of like snatch the locker room. And to me, as good as that is for Pat Bev, but it says a lot about the Bulls locker room. Like how this guy just comes out of nowhere, in the middle, after the trade deadline. It wasn't even the trade deadline. It was after that because they picked him up off. Then they picked him up after he was released. They picked Pat Bev after he was released, so it wasn't even at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to come in and you see him, the guy that's pulling the young guys to the side of, hey, let's go, being kind of that leader. It says a lot about DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Y'all supposed to be leaders of that locker room, man. You're supposed to be leaders of that locker room.
Yeah, I really see that, the void in leadership. All right, there's no one in that room, in that clubhouse, that locker room, that is a definitive go-to leader. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like, and isn't it crazy if you look at, unfortunately, the Sox? All right, same owner, same situation. There's no leader in that clubhouse. There's no leader in this locker room. They're a team that's they have no direction. All right, both teams, no direction, and they have no proven leader. Both teams. Now, DeMar DeRozan scores a lot. DeMar DeRozan hit a couple game-winning shots, and Zach is a max dude, but that shit don't make you a leader.
Exactly. You hit it around the head. And I think even if you go back to DeRozan in Toronto, he really wasn't the leader there. I mean, yeah, he's a guy that could score. He's going to put up points, but I don't think that's his strong suit. So another thing on top of shooting, man, you have to really focus on like veteran leadership. If point guard is a position of focus, you may want to go get a veteran, somebody who can come in that locker room and kind of get these younger guys going. Because the Bulls, it's not lack of talent. It's definitely not lack of talent. It's the way they're built. It's the way they're built, the lack of leadership, and they definitely need that shooting.
Well, what about my guy Cornelius said we got one 6'9", 6'10" guy in P. Will. Your thoughts on that?
I like Patrick Williams. But I think he's still developing. I would like to see him take another step next year. People were talking about getting rid of him. I was like, no. This young man is like, he's fit for today's game.
Yeah.
He has the size. He's not I wouldn't call him a shooter, but he can hit it. He hit open shots. He's a solid defender. He has the length. He plays hard. So I really like him. But so this is year 3 for him, right? For people, is year 3 going into year 3 or 4? I think this is going into year 3. Going to year 3.
No, this was going into 4. I think he had.
Okay.
I think because he was out most of the 1 year. It's going into year 4 for him.
That's right. The injury, and that slowed his development down. I think this kid, you got to give him time to develop. I really like him, but once again, that leadership, that's somebody to take him to the side. That guy that they were talking about with Miami, how Jimmy tells those guys, "Hey, shoot," like he's on them, But he gives them that confidence. Hey, go out. Hey, you open, you better shoot the ball, And that says a lot. So yeah, I love Patrick Williams. I love him. I think he could definitely be a big piece for the Bulls going forward. You got to keep him around. Maybe not a core. He's not going to be part of a big 3, but you need guys like that if you're going to go anywhere in the NBA.
You know what? I think he can be. I like him. I don't know if he'll be a dead eye spot up shooter, but his bag of tricks is pretty full. He can he can hit the mid range, right? He can hit the midi. He can hit the 3-point shot. He can drive. He can post up. He has a pretty complete game. I really would like to see them exploit that, maximize that next year. I would love to see so if he's the only guy in with the second unit, Like, and where I want him, put him in the second unit. Let him go ham.
Yeah.
Let him go ham. Put him in the post. Let him run. You know what I mean? Let him move. Have people chase him. Dude, this dude's big. He's strong. His repertoire. He's got a one hell of a repertoire. Like I said, he can score from all different spots. I think they just need to use him. I think he's best served off the bench, but he's not as athletic as a Michael Porter Jr. or a who's the other Aaron Gordon. All right, those dudes are like smooth, athletic. I'm waiting. We need one or two of those guys.
Oh,
all right,
man.
in addition to the point guard. So we're ways off.
Yeah, and also being able to like he can guard multiple positions too. So that's always a plus. You know, a guy that can guard multiple positions. But you know, like I think you hit on the head going with the second unit, because how is he gonna really get off out there with Vooch, DeRozan, and Levine? You know, now you're talking like fourth option, or you the cleanup man. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if we really don't know what all he can do. I mean, being out there with those guys, it's gonna be tough. But hey, but he seems like a young man that works hard. So I could see him improving the 3-point shot. You know, he seems like one of those guys who will go out there and go work on that shot. I think he'll be a lot better. But for me with the Bulls, I just the DeRozan Levine thing just don't do it for me. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. I mean, they too many times I watched them just get the ball and everybody's just standing around and either they take turns. Okay, your turn, you get yours. Okay, your turn, you get yours. You know, Levine's shot selection is horrible. Right? Man, I don't know what. He get the ball. This is just like, I don't know what to do. Crash the boards.
He's a black hole. He's a black hole. It's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing off his foot? What are you doing? Turn around, fadeaway jumper with a 6'10" guy in your face. Come on, dude. Stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shoot, there's 6 seconds left in the shot clock, and it's a fadeaway jumper, a fadeaway three. Like, come on, dude, work it in. Stop being so silly.
And some dynamic duos just don't fit together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like, you know, I like, you look in Boston at Tatum and Brown, and you got Brown who's a defender. You know, they both can defend, but they kind of play up. They don't have that, okay, you get yours. Okay, I get mad. It's not that. They get the players involved. So I don't think this core is right. You know, the core of this team. So it could require a teardown.
So one more question about the Bulls before we finish up with on the finals. Is it another point guard that's needed? Because the rumors, the stories have come out that the Bulls are secretly, come to the realization Lonzo won't play again. Is it just that we just need another good point guard? Because when Lonzo played, all right, this team had the best record in the East up until he got hurt.
Yep.
So that DeRozan, Vooch, Levine trio worked, but it had someone running the show.
Yep. Yeah, the question is, who do you replace them with? They've been
That's
trying.
the $1 trillion question.
That's like who's out there you can replace them with, unless you go get I'm not saying do it, but maybe a veteran like Chris Paul. You know, there's rumors that Phoenix may be getting ready to move on from him. Maybe somebody like that, like a true point guard who can run this thing. But I wouldn't want him or his bad hamstrings. So,
oh man, tell me about it.
Yeah,
and he's 38.
And he's 38 years old. Right, exactly. So I don't know who out there. I kind of been glancing over the free agent list, but I don't know anybody that fits that. That fits that role that the Bulls can go out there and get.
Because Lonzo's a three-headed thing, dude. Yeah. Like he run the show, he can hit the three. He's a 40% three, and he plays a hell of a D.
Perimeter defense.
I mean, you gotta. So, what two would you take in a point guard if you can't? Because it's gonna be tough getting a guy who does all three as well as he does. So, okay, you probably can find a lot of guys who are competent in both two areas. What two areas would you want your point guard in? In the playmaking and getting them and running the show, the 3-point shot, or the perimeter defense? Which two?
I'm gonna say facilitator and shooter. I know because just because if you can't shoot, like defense just gonna back off you and you kind of become a detriment to the team. You know, defense I think defense is more about effort. You know, even if you're not great at it, at least if you give the effort, you know, then team defense is big as well. They got all these different zones now, little weird things. You can kind of hide bad defenders.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like, especially for this Bulls team, they need a facilitator. They got to get away from DeRozan, take the ball, dribble it to 6 seconds left on the shot clock and throwing it up. They got to get away from that. That's horrible.
This ain't 90s basketball anymore.
Right. Yeah. That's you got to get away from that, man. So hopefully, those are the 2 spots I would take. That would be the 2 things I would focus more. I want them to be strong at those 2.
All right, last question, guys. We're joined by Lucky Lefty from the Smoke Fellas. You can catch him tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central here on Sports Zone Chicago with the rest of his squad, the Smoke Fellas right here. We're talking NBA Finals. So coming out on Sunday, all right, what does Miami have to do? Or is it just simply hit the 3? Can they do differently?
I think it's simple as hit the 3. They have to hit open shots. Because Denver's gonna play Denver's way. They're gonna tempo. You know, it's gonna be a lot of movement on offense. They're gonna play, and if that's because it's like we said earlier, they're not a great defensive team. Denver's not a great defensive team at all. So you have to hit shots, and so be it, man. Try to go in there and get some, man. Like you said, go in the Joker's body, get some guys in some foul trouble. You know what I mean? That's it. I think that's the only chance you have. So,
but they're playing good D yesterday, and maybe that was a product of the fact that this is the first finals that this franchise has ever been in. I mean, you saw obviously you saw Joker with some blocks, you saw Aaron Gordon with some blocks, you saw Jamal Murray. I mean, they were fired up, and they did not look like they were rusty after that 9-day layoff at all.
At all. They actually look just well rested. That's it. You know that. But it just says a lot about how good this team is. That Denver team is good, and you aren't going to fluster them out of playing their way. They're just not. You know, Joker's too, like they're leaders on the floor, like Joker and Jamal Murray. They're too calm. Like you can't get them out of their way. I think Miami did a good job with that in the Boston series, and New York, Milwaukee, all those series. They did a good job at that, getting you to play their way. I don't think they can get Denver to play their way. Their best hope is hit the damn shots. Hit the open shots.
Yeah, because they had them going their way a little bit as they cut the lead to single digits.
Mm-hmm.
But then Denver's like, "Oh, hold on, player."
They reeled it right back in.
Yeah,
real fast.
And Joker said it after. He goes, "We saw." He goes, "They won their first game at all the other series, and we couldn't let that happen." And this goes to show you the cognition. They're cognizant of that fact. Like, okay, this game is extremely important because it gives them life. It gives Miami life because they've taken home court advantage. They've gotten confidence that they could beat us if it came back to a game 7. They've already won on our home court. If you don't win and it goes to a game 7, there's that mental block. Like, man, we didn't win here yet, and that could hold a lot of influence on the psyche of these players. Last question, bro. Last question. The hero, what do you expect from him? He's said they're saying he could possibly be back for game 2, most likely game 3 for sure, but possibly for Sunday. What do you expect from him? He's a 20-point a game scorer, but he is coming off. He's been working, it's a shoot arounds. What do you expect from him?
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to come out and just light it up. I mean, as good as he was this season, he's been out for a while, and rhythm is big. It's one thing practice, but game speed is totally different, and I think it's going to take him. Unfortunately, it's going to take him a minute to get back to that 20-point scoring guy. Even though it was a hand injury, so he should have legs. Hopefully, he was running. I'm pretty sure he was. But like I said, you can't imitate game speed. Man.
No, you can't.
You can't. And when you
or intensity,
or intensity, and when you're out for a while like that, you can't hang a lot on his head. Hopefully, like you're not expecting him to come in and be the savior.
And hopefully they don't put that on him.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, man, Damani, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. Let everyone know where they can find you online.
Oh man, I'm on Instagram, Lucky Luciano 623, and yes, that is my birthday. It's the big 5-0 this year, by the way. And you can also catch me on Facebook, and of course, every Saturday morning right here on Sports Zone Chicago, Humidor Sports and Cigars. Man, it's always a great time. So yeah, join us, man. I appreciate you having me, Shawn.
Hey, good stuff, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
All right. Guys, that's Damani Pugh, lucky lefty, taking time out of his day to talk with us, talk NBA finals. Man, it was good. I'm excited to watch Sunday's game, see how that particular one plays out. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to swing it, talk a little football, little Bears, the Bears stuff. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it live right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JCoinReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media, who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information and my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoinreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoin.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ChicagoBears.com. And go! The hair on my arms is standing up. I told you. The Bears! Dude, I love it. I love what we're doing. I love where this offseason is going. I love the direction of this team. And look, don't be a douchebag, all right? I don't anticipate them getting to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl this year. Okay? I'm not. That's in 24, 25. Our window opens at 24. Okay? But I'm not going to stop being happy and excited for my team. All right? So if you're going to be a little negative Nancy, negative Nate Davis, then shut your pie hole. All right, let me enjoy my Bears. Let me enjoy the construction of an organization done properly through the draft, through depth, through key acquisitions, aka DJ Moore. Let me enjoy my team. Don't come and try and piss on my parade because you're negative Nancy. All right, don't do it. I love what this team is doing. I love Ryan Poles. And remember, the other day on Wednesday, I asked, would you go after DeAndre Hopkins? I would. Okay. But Ryan Poles has shown he's adamant about what he wants, who he's going after, who he's going to sign. And you have to be there's an age limit. It's like a bar. You got to be 21 or older. You got to be 27, 28 and younger to be signed by Ryan Poles. Hey, he's got his beliefs, and who the hell are we to question it when to this point he's gotten us in a spot we are a lot of people's sleepers this year. A lot of people's actual favorite to win the NFC North, to go from worst to first. I know Detroit wants to have something to say about it. Minnesota wants to have something to say about it. Even Green Bay. But realistically, on paper, we are good. We are good. A lot of young talent. A much improved offense. Much more reinforcements on defense. Depth on offense and defense. We're a much better team overall. And that is what I'm excited about. That is in the culture. And the culture that's being fortified here with this front office, Kevin Warren, more importantly, Ryan Poles. Kevin Warren just got on. And Coach Eberflus. Their approach to building an organization is one that I can rock with. One that I feel very comfortable with. One that I know is going to have a lot of people happy, jumping up and down, either in the stadium, in your living room, at a bar, at a friend's house, watching these games. Okay. Guys, we have not had the great fortune of witnessing a ton of really good general managers. We haven't. Okay. It is what it is. But the one we have now, to this point, has been very good. A little over a year on the job. Well, I don't know about made some mistakes. I might have done a couple of things different, but Nimolo, he didn't. But we're still in a phenomenal spot as far as cap space, as far as drafted players, acquired players, DJ Moore. Okay? We're in a phenomenal, phenomenal place. It doesn't stop here. Next year we have 2 first-round picks. Okay? So just when you think his work is done, like, oh, great, good job. Oh, 2023 is awesome. Guess what? 2024, the draft, we have 2 first-round picks. We can get nuts like Texas did, or Houston, the Texans. Jump back up, get 2 edges if you want. What if we do that? What if we solidify that? Or what if we get our stud 3 technique and our stud edge next year? All these things are possible. Worst case scenario, what if Justin Fields isn't the guy? And before you even go there, I believe truly that Justin Fields will be the dude. He will be the guy to lead us to a Super Bowl. Okay? However, the NFL stands for not for long. Okay? You have to be prepared. And the Bears are in a great position to be, or they're prepared and they're in a great position if, let's just say if Justin Fields gets hurt or has some of the unthinkable. Okay, just he can't play anymore. Well, we have 2 first-round picks, so we can go parlay them for a Caleb Williams. Okay, we already have DJ Moore. You know, you'll sign Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool. Okay, you'll sign one of those. So you'll have weapons for a quarterback if it has to go that route, which I believe will be ultimately the last resort. But I digress. I think you can add great talent to the defense. And then you don't know who's going to be a stud on defense. What if we have our 3 tech? What if Zach Pickens is the dude? What if Javon Dexter is the dude? What if they're both interchangeable at the 1 and the 3? What if they both excel? And now you just want to you can just go get pass rushers? And if you don't sign Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool, now you can draft Marvin Harrison Jr. if you'd like. There are plenty of options for this team. The line seems to be set. Darnell Wright at right tackle, Nate Davis, right guard. They're going to be here for a couple of years. Braxton Jones started every single snap last year at left guard. He's going to get better, stronger. Tevin Jenkins, hopefully his back is okay. There's a lot to be excited about. A lot. All right. June 1st cuts. June 1st cuts. There could be a whole bunch of people that are going to be cut post June 1st. Well, it's post June 1st now. If they're waived, Bears have first right of refusal. Bears get to have the first chance to sign them. If they're released, hopefully people say, hey, there's some good stuff going on there in Chicago. I think I want to be part of that. They just added some stud weapons to their stud quarterback. Offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, running back, every level, every offensive room on this team has been upgraded. Everyone. And so if a free agent says, man, and this is what you look for as a free agent, like, okay, who's going to win? Who did more for their team? Who helped their quarterback? The Bears. Who helped their quarterback more than the Bears? Bringing in DJ Moore, a true number 1 receiver. Bringing in a tight end in Tunyon. Bringing in 2 running backs. Deontay Foreman and Scott. You brought in a lot of weapons for this quarterback. I'm a free agent. I strongly have to consider Chicago a destination for me and my family. I think Coach Eberflus gets better as a head coach. I love the fact that he is not the defensive coordinator. I love the fact that he's the CEO. Coach Williams, you do your job. If you need me as a resource, I'm here. Luke Getsy, do your job. If you need me as a resource, coming from a defensive perspective, I'm here. But you run the offense, you run the defense, I'll oversee everything. So I'm not spending more time with the defense because I'm a defensive guy. I'm splitting time evenly. And then looking at special teams as well. You know, they started demolition on the interior of Arlington Park Racetrack. And I'm wondering how, because obviously all the reports in the news are saying in case the Bears want to build a stadium. And I'm thinking, why would you buy that? It's $190 million or something like that. It's crazy. The year before it valued at 30-something million. And then the year the Bears want to buy it, it's 190. Go figure. I don't know. But what would the Bears do if they didn't build a stadium there? What's the whole purpose of that? Just to build an entertainment center? But what's the draw? If they build an entertainment center, you can just go right to Rosemont. You go downtown Chicago, you can go to Rosemont. Rosemont has tons of restaurants, outlet mall, tons of shopping. Right by the airport, they have the Chicago Dogs. They got a baseball team there. They got a lot of stuff there. Not too far from downtown. Take the train right into downtown, take the train out. So what's the draw to go into Arlington Heights if they just make it an entertainment center? Just shopping? Yeah, I don't think that'll do it. So why do you keep saying if the Bears decide? What else would they do, in my opinion? They don't have to build, but what else would they do? It's $190 million you just spent. All of a sudden, the issues with the city and the Bears are over? No, the Bears want their own stadium because it makes their franchise much more valuable. Much more valuable. So if they do want to sell in the near future, Miss McCaskey is getting up there. Her health isn't great. The grandkids want to split it up and just take the money and run with it because they're little spoiled trust fund babies. Okay. You want to be able to sell that and maximize it for as much as you can. The only way to do that is to have your own stadium. Your stadium generates revenue for you. Okay, you rent that sucker out. Now there's another spot for concerts. Hell, Taylor Swift is down at Soldier Field today, tomorrow, and Sunday. You could have concerts out there. It's enclosed. We've talked about it. We've talked about the Big Ten championship game. We talked about NCAA Final Fours. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff, indoor football league, or a USFL or XFL and or USFL and or XFL teams. You have places to play. You have, and the weather in Chicago can get a little crazy in December, January, February. Now you're protected by the elements. All these are money streams for the Bears. Parking, not the Bears right now. It belongs to the Park District. Okay, well, now there's another stream of revenue. It just makes sense. Why would they buy it if they're not going to build a brand new stadium? I don't know. Call me crazy. I've been called worse. But listen, I'm going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, I'll have a little more Bears talk. But you know what? But I really wanted to talk about some sad news on the home front. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Chicago began at their 25 at the 19 of Miami, 1st and 10, and here goes Phillips chasing the quarterback. Come in again with a block and a touchdown. Big play, Fields, a run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown, Mooney. Jones the block at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate and get the first down and break tackles, and he's off to the races. Oh, he got a terrific block down there by Mooney. He's in. He's got him. That's 2 points. Montgomery with Blasingame. 1st and goal. The fake and a good one to the end zone. Come up, touchdown. His second today.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. Those are the Bears, baby. Bears against the Finns. I'm a little excited again. I love getting excited, talking Bears. Love watching Bears getting ready for the season. There's a lot of mouths the Bears are going to close. They're going to shut a lot of people's mouths, and I'm excited about it. One of the things that I wanted to get into, I wanted to talk about this. I didn't get the chance to do it during the top of the morning segment. And I'm glad I didn't, because I really want to spend a little time on this. Yesterday, the 30th, former Chicago Bears linebacker coach, outside linebacker coach, Rob McGovern passed away. And you're probably saying, well, why is that a big issue? Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. Rob McGovern went to my alma mater, Holy Cross. All right, I have a reunion there next week. He was 60 years old. He was an All-American. The dude was a stud. The dude was a freaking stud. All right. And then not only was he a stud, all right, but he came back to coach at Holy Cross. And he was my coach in 1991, in 1992. So I got to know him somewhat not great because he was on the defensive side of the ball, and I was a running back. If you know, obviously the name SuperBack. But he was just a great dude. And then my senior year, he was just awesome. You know, I it's tough to say one specific thing. I can, but there are a lot of just his encouragement, the way he got his defenses ready. Okay, the love that the players had for him on the defensive side of the ball. All right, little things to me would he'd come up and say, "Hey, good job today. You really made my defense work in practice." Things like that, you respect that because he's on the other side, you know, and it's offense, defense. You look at him, you're like, oh, it's, you know, we're different. We're always fighting, but when it comes game time, we're all unified, of course. And for him to do that was really, really awesome. Okay. He was the Bears linebacker coach. Okay. I think, and I believe they spent time together at Boston College, him and Ryan Poles. 2000, yeah, they were both there. Ryan Poles was there was an offensive lineman from 03 to 07, and Coach McGovern was there from 2000 to 2012. So he was there his whole time there, which is where they crossed paths initially. Coach McGovern was an All-American. Coach McGovern, you talk about, he at one point, he was the first team All-American back in '84. He led the nation in interceptions in '84. He set the Division I AA career interception record. Okay. Which was later broke by Dave Murphy, who was a senior when I was a freshman, and Murph was awesome. Murph was also a first-team All-American in 1989. But this is a football guy. And I just wanted to remember him. Football has provided a lot of us with a lot of different opportunities. For him, I mean, hell, it was his life, his passion. 38 years as a coach, 30 at the college level, 8 in the NFL. And he was always good to me. Like I said, even though I was on the offensive side of the ball, and our conversations weren't very plenty, or weren't very plentiful because of the fact that he was a defensive coach and I was a running back. But the respect I had for him was second to none. And it's a shame. Now it's the 4th coach has passed away. And you know what sucks? That shows how, that truly, truly, truly reminds you how old you're getting, how old I'm getting. You know, you start to see people who are influential in your life. And for me, a lot of it was football players or football coaches, excuse me. And when they start to go, it's like, holy sheesh. You know, a couple of years ago, I want to say in 2020, you know, my grammar school coach, Coach Jack Quinn, passed away from COVID. Coach Quinn was awesome. Him and Coach Schaller, to this day, my favorite coaches. They demanded a lot out of us. And I was, you know, for a kid whose dad wasn't around, you know, we searched for father figures. We searched for that male love and attention that we got. And these dudes were Coach Quinn and Coach Schaller. Those were men's men. You know what I mean? Like old school, like ask no quarter, take no quarter. You know, and then one of my high school coaches, Coach Angston, similar, cut from the same cloth as Coach Quinn and Coach Schaller, just died a few years ago from ALS. And this was the guy who I love because he was straightforward, blunt, straight, no chaser. Whether you wanted to hear it or not, didn't matter. He told you the truth. And you may have hated him because he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because he told the truth. But I loved him. Coach Angston and Coach Quinn, those are two guys that I patterned my coaching style after. Okay. And then Coach Terry. Coach Terry with the Thunder. This guy was like the ultimate gentleman. All right. Fought for what he believed in. Very quiet, mild-mannered person, but just driven. And now another one, Coach McGovern. I'm very fortunate to have played football for so long and to have the experiences of being coached by great men. Okay, and all I could do is say thank you and pay it forward and hope that a lot of my players will someday say, hey, you know what? Coach Sierra was one of the dudes that I needed at that particular point in my life. As a coach, as a mentor, as a man. So that's all I can hope for. But Coach McGovern, Bill McGovern, will be missed. And it was crazy. Like my senior year, he still wanted to stay on the staff at Holy Cross. And he got a raw deal. It's the way the coaching world is. Okay, a new regime came in. Coach Peter Voss, who also was a Holy Cross graduate. I want to say early 70s, he graduated from there. But it come from Notre Dame. A lot of attitude, a lot of arrogance, a lot of pompous bullshit with us, the players, with the coaches who trying to stay over. And I remember him degrading Coach McGovern in front of us, in front of the team. Just yelling at him for some stupid shit. Basically to say, I'm the new sheriff in town. Which kind of, that rubbed me the wrong way. One main thing being because you're both Holy Cross Crusader alums. And I know I know Coach Voss had come from Notre Dame. Coach McGovern had, wasn't there. He was come from somewhere else, but you're still both alumni from Holy Cross. And for him to treat another one of the Crusaders like that, his brethren of Holy Cross, alumni brother from Holy Cross, like that, did not sit well with me. I didn't like Peter Voss. The whole situation was bad. I thought he was a horrible coach. And when he did that, like it really, like I saw it, and we felt really bad. And Coach McGovern was just like, "Hey, listen, don't worry about it. You have stuff." And there was the one thing that it shows you how, his thing was, you still have a season to play and you have a degree to get. Don't worry about me. Basically, I'm a big boy. I'll find another gig. I'll find another job. But you don't let what's happening to me affect your business, affect the fact that you have to play for this guy, affect the fact that you still have to get a degree out of this school and go into the real world with a degree that carries a lot of weight. And he instilled and he professed that to us and made sure that we understood that. And for that, I thank him. So it was tough, but he passed away from cancer. He was 60 years old, only 60 years old. And, you look, you're like, wow. He actually coached at Holy, back in 91, 92 was when he coached me at Holy Cross. He was defensive backs coach and the kickers coach. In 93, he went to UMass. Then he was at BC again. He went to Pitt, Boston College again. He was from 2000 to 2012. Then he went to Philadelphia. He was the Eagles outside linebackers coach, then the Giants linebacker coach, then Nebraska, the defensive assistant at the University of Nebraska. In 2021, he was here with the Bears. Then he went to UCLA. He was the defensive coordinator at UCLA. And then last year, he was the director of football administration at UCLA. But he had a battle with cancer. and he succumbed to it the other day. So, Coach, you always look back at the lessons, and you don't understand some things sometimes. Okay, you don't get it. We don't get it all the time. But in retrospect, I was fortunate to be able to have him there, to get the message that he was trying to convey. Like, listen, you got to handle your business. You got to handle your business. Don't worry about me. I'm a big boy. So, the last thing I want to talk about, this was kind of weird. This was weird. This is another top of the morning topic that we didn't get to. But Shannon Sharp is leaving undisputed. All right. Club Shay Shay, he's leaving Fox Sports 1. And it was cited because of the fact that his rift with Skip Bayless grew. First, Skip created a rift, and then it grew. If you remember, Skip dissed Shannon when they were talking about great players, and he said, and he kind of minimized what Shannon did. Because he was all in love with Tom Brady. Skip was. And Shannon's like, wait a minute. He goes, I'm no scrub. He's like, I'm not a scrub. He goes, I'm in the God-blessed Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. And Skip's disrespect toward him consistently made Shannon say, you know what? I'm done with this. So it's going to be interesting. It's another good lesson in life. Just because people are there with you, next to you, doesn't mean they're beside you. Let me say that again. Just because people are next to you doesn't mean they're beside you. All right. I think the jealousy of Skip got to him. I don't think he realized that Shannon would become such a popular figure, because Shannon doesn't have great English. All right, he's a boy. He's a good old boy from the South, so he has a Southern twang, Southern accent, talks Southern. And Shannon, college educated, and I'm not saying Shannon's not college educated, but Skip speaks pretty good English, the King's English, so to speak. Thought, okay, this is, we got a player here. But you know what shined through was Shannon's personality, Shannon's realness. And I think that's what got people adoring Shannon Sharp, was he was real. And it sucks because now it's going to happen after the finals. It's going to be over. He's leaving sometime after the finals, all because of jealousy. And Shannon and Skip dissing, the disrespect toward Shannon Sharp was unacceptable. And he kept doing it. Okay. Just because people are next to you doesn't mean they're on your side or beside you. Definitely not. So I just wanted to. But, man, getting back to the show, I cannot tell you. You know what? I have to put this up again because I'm fired up. There's 100 days until kickoff. That man right there is going to have this city eating out of the palm of his hand. That young man is not even remotely aware of how much control and power and influence he will have over the city if he brings us a Super Bowl title. He has no idea. And I know, I get it. He's from Georgia. All right, Kennesaw, Georgia, where Travis Bell, the new defensive tackle we drafted, went to Kennesaw State. Went to Georgia, University of Georgia, so he understands how it is in Athens if you're a stud, but got passed over by the coaching staff, and they want to play Eric Fromm. So he goes to Ohio State and leads them to the college playoffs both years there. First year into the semis and the last year into the championship game. So he has an idea of, in Ohio State, that's Columbus, they're a rabid college football town. But that's just what Columbus is, the town. It's not a city. It's not a big city like Chicago. And I think he's starting to understand how rabid Chicago Bear fans are. And I'm sure people have told people about him. I'm sure people have told him, like, you are going to eat like a king. You'll never have to pay for another meal if you take this team to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl with this team, for this organization. He seems like he's a level-headed young man. I believe his father was a police officer. Kid just has a good aura about him, good attitude, good mental mindset about him. And I'm telling you, I don't want any negative Nancy's. I don't want to deal with people. And people do things just to get clicks. I'm not going to do that. Okay? And granted, some people have, I guess technically, yes, you're right. People say, well, Justin hasn't proved he's a passer. If you look at the numbers, you have a very strong argument. If you look at the games, the argument doesn't hold as much water. It doesn't hold as much water. But everything happens for a reason. Okay, it happens for a reason, because if all those things, if all the times that Justin Fields got us close, he was able to get us across the finish line of the game and win a game, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in now. There'd be no trading for DJ Moore. I think that is going to be huge. That is going to be huge. Junior, stop mentioning my mother-in-law. It's Nancy, negative Nancy. If you see some of the throws that Justin Fields has made, first of all, go back to his Ohio State tape and just watch. When he has talent, he is unbelievable. He didn't run at Ohio State. He didn't get 1,000 yards over Ohio State. That was for the running backs. You guys run. I'll sit back here and pick you apart, and he did. All the way to the college football national championship game. Now we got him a receiver, a number one receiver. Now we have other receivers who are good, who are much better number 2 and number 3 receivers, who can be Pro Bowl number 2 and number 3 receivers. Got him a running game. It's going to be just like Ohio State. He's got 3 running backs who can go in and get yards. And if you start running the ball, we know that you start running the ball, defense has got to adjust. They got to bring somebody down to the box, which means there's not as many people in coverage. This guy is about to do what some people thought was impossible, and that's lead this team to a championship, a Super Bowl. And it's not going to be this year. It's not. Next year, I anticipate us being strong Super Bowl favorites or contenders. We'll just go to contenders. Contenders. The pass to the tight end in the end zone against Tennessee, yes. The pass his rookie year against Pittsburgh in the end zone, amazing. This dude has it all. You know, and I bring it up. I brought it up plenty of times. Darnell Mooney, he, instead of double catching the pass on the goal line for the Commanders, he catches that, we win. Justin Fields leads us against the Dolphins. Missed extra point by Cairo Santos, we lose by a point. The drop pass by that was a different game. That was the Niners. No, it wasn't the Niners. It was who's the missed extra point? You had the Equanimous St. Brown drop. First of all, the no pass interference call when they yanked DJ Moore down or Chase Claypool down. They yanked him down. They pulled him back. No pass interference on 3rd and whatever. Then on the next play, 4th down, which was kept the drive going, he hits Equanimous St. Brown right between the hands. Goes right between his hands on 4th down, ball over. Amir Massett, the kid from the Vikings who played for fumbles against the Vikings. I mean, that's 4 games right there. Justin can do it. Justin can't throw the ball and catch the ball. Do it. Justin has shown you he can lead a team. Now he's got talent. He's got upgraded wide receiver, an upgrade in the running back room, an upgrade in the offensive line, an upgrade in the tight ends. Come on now. It don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. So you can sit there and say, well, I want to see. Okay, but if you if you read the tea leaves, if you see how the situation, the season went last year, and not just because I'm a Bears fan, look at what he did. Got them in position to win. Kept them within one score, 7, 8 times of their losses? 7 or 8 of their losses were within one score? With the low level of talent that he had, with them gutting the entire defense. So now he's got to score every time because they traded away Roquan Smith. Robert Quinn was traded. They didn't bring Akeem Hicks back. You just purged that whole defense. You couldn't stop the run, so teams are running through you as like a canyon-sized hole. They still kept many of our losses to one score. Watch. A lot of people are going to owe him apologies. Man, 3 hours has come and gone. Holy cow. I want to thank my guest, Bob Nightingale, even though we recorded that yesterday. Bob Nightingale from USA Today, talking baseball with us. I was shocked. He said, start trading pieces. Start trading pieces. Start with TA. If you missed it, go back and check it out. I was surprised. All right, I also want to thank my man, Damani Pugh, one of the smoke fellows, Lucky Lefty himself, coming on talking NBA Finals with your boy. It's going to be a tough one for the Miami Heat. I don't know if they can do it. I think Denver in 6 max. It could be 4, but maybe they'll give them Denver in 5. 6 is the absolute latest it'll go. It's not going 7. Well, thank you, Damani, for coming on, talking basketball with us. Great stuff. Listen, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend here in Chicago. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, first and foremost, stay cool. It's going to be 90s all day today. I'm heading to the pool. As soon as I get done here, I'm going to grab me some lunch, and I'm going to the pool. Spend time with your loved ones. Give them a hug. I know it sounds a little sappy, but man, just seeing Coach McGovern pass, man, that happens a lot as you get older. More and more people that you knew that influence you, they tend to go. So it's spend time. All right, go to a pool, go to the beach, stay in the house, watch a movie. Just enjoy your loved ones. Give them a big hug. Tell them you love them. All right, do yourself that favor. Stay cool. It's going to be hot. If you're heading out, enjoy with your loved ones, with your family, with your wife, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend. Okay, with the kids, with the in-laws, with everybody. Just enjoy Chicago. Summertime Shy is here, baby. The unofficial start of summer was last weekend, Memorial Day. All right, get your white pants out. I got to go pick mine up from my cleaner. Actually, I do. I got to get them from the tailor. I'll get them tomorrow when I go to the Sox game. He's on 31st, right by the stadium. But get out there, enjoy it. There's tons of stuff. They got the drive-in over in Pilsen, Google Chicago Drive-In. They got rooftops. We got patios. We got restaurants. Go enjoy Chicago. We got boat cruises up and down the river, in and out of Lake Michigan. Chicago is the best city in the world in the summer. Go enjoy it. Let's make sure that you stay hydrated, enough sunblock, and make sure you enjoy Summertime Shy. I'm going to get out of here, folks. I have a lot to do today, and I'm excited about doing it. Guys, we're going to take a 69-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we'll see you same bat time, same bat channel, Monday, 9 a.m. to noon, Central Standard Time. So for my guy, Steve Weekly, getting all those clips together for me, executive producer, Elliot Baez, social media guy, Clarence Council III, my co-host at Absentia, Maya Kai, and my guests for calling in, but especially thank you to you for joining us, for tuning in, for the love, the support. I appreciate it. I love it. We have some pretty cool stuff still coming in the works with Sports Zone Chicago. So again, I thank you for the love and support. Just keep rocking with us. We're going to keep doing pretty cool stuff for the show and for you guys. All right. So for Steve, for Elliot, for Clarence, for my girl Maya, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. Get out there, enjoy Summertime Shy. It's it, man. It's it. And you know what? Maybe I'll even wear my bucket hat that I'm going to get tomorrow from the Sox game. So, guys, have a great weekend. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. I'm out. Deuces.